Welcome to Longview Game Day. I'm Chuck Zach along with Tony Kirk, and we're coming to you live this evening from John Outlaw Memorial Field at Abe Martin Stadium on the campus of Lufkin High School, where the Longview Lobos, the Lufkin Panthers, will face off for the 85th time in their history. Although it's the first time these two are meeting in district since 2003. A series of the Longview Lobos have won the last 5 games and lead this series by those 5 games, 42-37 with 4 ties between them. Welcome to the broadcast, my color commentary partner, Tony Kirk.
So many times this game used to determine the district championship back in the old East Texas district that included the Tyler schools and Texarkana back in the day, along with Nacogdoches. And so it's fitting tonight that as these two reunite in district for the first time in almost 2 decades, that they open district with each other.
We are about 18 minutes until kickoff. It is a rather balmy 85 degrees. We're expecting it to get into a very nice temperature, probably upper 70s and maybe even a little lower by the time this game comes to an end. Sun is setting right behind us, so we're going to get that extra little suntan before we leave here tonight at Lufkin. We are sitting outside, and we're going to tell you early on, we are probably in the neighborhood of about 20 feet away from the Lufkin Panther band, so you're going to hear them an awful lot tonight.
Well, that's not just any band. That's the 5A, 6A reigning state champion Lufkin Panther band, and so one would think to be the state champion, you got to be loud, and so I suspect some of our discussion of this particular event is going to include their music in the background.
And so as a result, they'll draw us out, and you can thank them for that.
Yes.
Anyway, this one is obviously huge. Not only is it the district opener for the two teams here in 7-5A Division I, but Longview's the number 1 team in the state. Have been since the preseason. We're 3 games into the year. The Lobos managing to hang on barely with that 69-0 whitewashing of Tyler Legacy last week to continue to be the number 1 team in the state.
What better way to get win number 200 for John King than to have a 69-0 blowout over an old East Texas opponent, Tyler Legacy, and I tell you what, you can't play a much better quarter than the Lobos did in the second quarter last week. It seemed like anything that could go their way did go their way.
And anything that could go against Legacy went against the Red Raiders last week. The 200th win for John King made him in the top 100 in the state of Texas now for victories for high school football coaches, and we expect that number to just keep on elevating. There's still 7 games left after this one, or 6 games after this one. There's 6 rounds in the state championship, so you should be able to add another 13 or so wins to that total.
Well, you mentioned the field now is named after the late John Outlaw here. One would expect at some point in the not-too-distant future, John King, who is the John Outlaw of Longview, will probably be honored in such a way up in Gregg County.
You would hope. School record 9 different Lobos scored in that 69-0 win last week, including a couple of defensive scores. We had Darian Boone with a fumble recovery. We had Billy Smith with an interception return for a touchdown. And the defense was just out of their minds dominating last week. 2 first downs for Legacy, 1 on a running into the punter penalty by the Lobos. They never crossed the 50-yard line, got less than 100 yards of offense, and we keep going on and on and on about how much the Lobo defense just smothered, which is the best word, the Red Raiders last week.
Well, we go to the game a little concerned because we've talked about on multiple occasions early this season that it's an undersized defensive line, but they have so much team speed on defense. And time again last week, Tyler Legacy found themselves in 2nd and long and 3rd and long. As we continue to mention every single week, you do not want to be in 2nd and long and 3rd and long against this Lobo defense.
No, not at all. The Lobos, 3 dominating wins. They won in the rain at McKinney-Boyd 36-10. They beat up Marshall 48-11, and then Tyler Legacy 69-0. If you want to do the math on that, scoring differential, 132, that's the highest mark in Lobo history for the first 3 games of the season. So they have got it going on. But so do the Panthers. This is a different team than expected. Last year, kind of watching from afar, Lufkin didn't feel like they were up to it. They missed the playoffs last year. There's rumblings here about unhappiness. and they're 3-0 for the first time in 12 years. And last week they pulled off the big upset. They beat A&M Consolidated 31-14. That was a third-ranked team in the state, and the Panthers beat them.
Yeah, that's a very good A&M Consolidated program. To go there and defeat them was a huge win. And as you said, not only did they miss the playoffs year ago, it was about the first time in 2.5 decades the Panthers haven't been in the playoffs. Todd Quick, who's the head coach here, you talked about it. I read some things in the Lufkin Daily News this week from the last couple of years. I think folks here are getting a little restless. He was Coach Outlaw's defensive coordinator. He took over this program, and the expectations are still there for him to have that type of success.
And they have not, and that's a problem. And when you are following a legend, every move you make is questioned, and every loss you suffer would, of course, be, well, Coach Outlaw wouldn't have lost that. Coach Outlaw wouldn't have done that. And that's a hard one to live up to for any coach.
Well, and as you and I talked about prior to coming on the air tonight, Coach Outlaw, tremendous coach. We're from Texarkana. He was up our way at Arkadelphia years ago in the state of Arkansas, won 2 state titles. Only person we know to win, state titles on either side of the Texas-Arkansas state line. Tremendous football coach. But he also had a guy named Reggie McNeil was his quarterback when back in 2001, Lufkin was able to break through and win their state championship.
And to make you think Todd Quick is a slug, let's correct that. His team's 73-41 coming into this year, so 76-41 for him in his 10 years here as the head coach. They had an 11-win year in 2017, a 10-win year in 2018, but you start looking at the trend: 11, 10, 9 in 2019, 6 in 2020, and they went 4-6 last year. And they have not had a losing record since his second year, which you kind of say, okay, well, we can forgive you for that. You're putting your stamp on it. But 8 years later to go 4-6, that's the one that's the problem.
Well, it's been a different time for Lufkin football. For so many years, as I've mentioned, they played East Texas teams in districts. They've been sent south. They've been sent towards the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. They've been in the Houston suburbs, playing bigger schools. They're back down to 5A now, Division I. You've got to think that they're excited to be back in 5A Division I, playing more East Texas teams.
And for those who are not familiar, the connection between Quick and Outlaw goes way back. 26 years he was with Coach Outlaw, so that goes back forever ago. And in fact, weird deal here. Outlaw, of course, won a couple of state championships in Arkansas at Arkadelphia back in 79 and 87. Well, one of those years he was playing against Todd Quick's teams at Malvern, which is where Todd grew up. So there's a lot of Arkansas connection. They've moved it over here, and we'll wrap the bow with the Arkansas connection. John Outlaw's nephew, Trey Outlaw, is coaching at Arkansas High after he spent the last few years at where? Arkadelphia.
Yeah, Arkadelphia, El Dorado.
Or El Dorado, rather.
Yeah. But either way, a lot of connect the dots in this rivalry. And I, as a former Lufkin season ticket holder back in the late 80s, watched a couple of these ball games right here of Lufkin versus Longview.
All right, well, overall, Longview's got a 5-game winning streak coming into this series, or into this game. They've won 11 of the last 13. Last time these two met was 2020. Longview won in a bi-district playoff game 41-5. District openers, John King has had 18 of them. He's 16-2 in those district openers. Up on our screen, we got to again honor our Longview Orthopedic Star Foundation Student Athletes of the Week. This is week 4. Kara Washington's the young lady you see on the left. She is a volleyball player from Henderson High School, where she's been a star. And, of course, on the other side is Connor Haggerty. He's a football player from Marshall. Both of those honored by Orthopedic Star Foundation of Longview. They are the Student Athletes of the Week for week number 4.
And if you're watching this back in Longview, you hear your school song being played right now across the way here at Abe Martin. Nice contingency of fans have made the trip up, and so if you catch a glance of those bleachers across the way that are very tall, there's a whole lot of green and white over there.
Yeah, not quite as packed as last week against Tyler Legacy. You can understand that. The expectations were that that was going to be a big game, and number 200 for John King, and lots of folks wanted to be there to see that. They are still pouring in from the parking lot. We expect the stands to probably be pretty darn close to full. We still got about 10 minutes till kickoff, and they're still coming in.
Yeah, and this is a, as you look, 10,000-seat stadium here.
Yes.
This is not a small place. And so if you are a fan of high school football, I know my son told me he listens to Justin Wells, who is one of the more well-known bloggers around the state in high school football. He highlighted this game this evening in his broadcast.
There's a lot to like about tonight's game. Again, it's the district opener, but other folks are playing tonight as well in the districts. It's not just the opener for us. It's Forney at West Mesquite tonight. It's Lancaster taking on McKinney North, and North Mesquite has Tyler tonight. So we're going to keep an eye on those games as we go through the rest of the evening, try to keep you apprised on how things are. But coming into tonight, Longview, Lufkin, McKinney North, and West Mesquite all unbeaten. They're 3-0 coming in. Forney's 2-1. Lancaster, who's back in our place next week for district game number 2, also 2-1. North Mesquite is 1-2, and Tyler High is 0-3 on the season. We talked about the Lobos, 3-0 coming in. Panthers 3-0. They've beaten Tyler Legacy 31-23. Common opponent. We won 69-0. They won 31-23. They beat Nacogdoches 37-0, but they've got the signature win, the win over A&M Consolidated 31-14 last week.
Lobos really opened up this year with what may be their 2 toughest district opponents. They have to travel down here this week to face their old rival, the Panthers, and then next week they go home. But that Lancaster ball club is a pretty good ball club. Their only loss on the year, their 2-1, was to Denton Guy.
All right, so that's our setup. We're about 7.5 minutes away from kickoff. Let's go back to last week's 69-0 Lobo win. It's a deceptive win if you look at the stats for the Stars, because we typically always start with this conversation about how did the guys do that you know. How did Jordan Allen do? How did Jalen Hale do? How did Taylor Tatum do? Well, they didn't play enough for it to matter last week, to be perfectly honest with you. They didn't have to do much, and as a result, their numbers aren't very gaudy. Taylor and Jalen didn't even play in the second half. Jordan Allen played a series or 2 in the second half, and that was it. He gave way to Andrew Tutt. So the guys you would expect to get big numbers from for a second straight week, you did not, because they didn't have to play a full game. What you did get is 23 first downs to 2, 256 rushing yards to 24, 214 passing yards to 12. The Lobos had no turnovers. They recovered 1 fumble, or 2 fumbles rather, and intercepted 1 pass, so 3 turnovers for Legacy. We said early domination, probably the only blip on the radar. They had 6 penalties last week for 45 yards against a team that they had no problem with, and so the penalties, I'm sure, are a thing that once again got John King's attention, and we got to clean that one thing up, but other than that, it's pretty impressive.
Well, Tatum in particular was hardly used last week. In fact, they did a little experimentation with him. They put him in a slot occasionally. It was the fullback last week, Elijah, who really had the big night. He got the bulk of the carries and really showed out last week. He was the highlighted running back last week. Used him a little in the passing game as well, and so it was really a night for him to shine a week ago.
It really was. Jordan Allen was 12 of 17, 191 yards, and 3 more touchdowns. His numbers on the season are starting to become very impressive. The one that sticks out, and you hate to say because it feels like you're going to jinx it, but he's completed 70% of his passes, 35 of 50, 534 yards, and 7 touchdowns with no interceptions so far this season. If he continues to be that good, this team's going to be very difficult to knock off.
And while Jordan Allen didn't start in the playoffs last year, he played a lot of football a year ago, and it is really showing up this fall as he has looked so much improved, to be honest. You hate to criticize anything he did a year ago because he had so many wins under his belt, but he looks very good to start this season.
All right, national anthem coming up, so we're going to be quiet for a minute. We'll let you guys get that, and we'll come right back and set it up when we return to the mics here on Longview Game Day.
1, 2. Tonight's moment of silence is brought to you by Lufkin First Methodist Church. Thank you.
All right, there's been your national anthem, a moment of silence, and we're getting ready to get the captains to come out to the middle of the field and decide who's going to get this football first.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too silent tonight. I think this is going to be a raucous crowd, and I think both teams are hyped for this, and you wonder if maybe early on here one of them comes out a little too high.
Well, we've got our captains coming out for the Lobos tonight. The three captains this evening are Brandavion Steverson, Jose Soto, and Aiden James are the three captains that John King sends out. On the other side for Lufkin, and we got number 9, Orion Hart, number 11, Braylon Holman, and number 48, that is Jermaine Simpson. It's the purple-clad Panthers standing on that Panther logo, very familiar to folks in East Texas. The Lobos have won the toss. They have decided to defer, which means Lufkin's going to get the football first to start things once again. It's kind of been the John King way. We're going to win the toss. We're going to defer to the second half. We'll take it then.
Yeah, Steverson's mom was watching us last week. She commented on our broadcast a week ago. If Mama Steverson's watching again, we give you a big old shout out. And all of you who chimed in last week and told us where you were watching from, feel free to do that again this week. We appreciated the feedback a week ago.
You bet. So we'll do roll call just like we did a week ago. Let us know where you are, who you are, and if you're a Longview grad, what class are you from? And my wife, who normally listens, not tonight. She's got her own reunion night tonight.
Well, we'll forgive her. She's from over on that wrong side of the state line up there in Texarkana.
And I won't say what year reunion is.
No, I wouldn't do that at all. I'd be smart enough to keep that information to yourself.
All right, Michael Fields is going to kick off for the Lobos. They will be going from right to left on the screen. We had a little breeze when we got here. It's gone. So the wind, which actually was blowing 2 fields back when we came here, is not blowing at all right now. So that actually won't be a factor, at least we don't expect it. There was some potential rain earlier in the day. That blew through. Didn't look like anything fell. And as a result, we should be good to go. Dry track, fast track. Now, I say that, there was a little slipping we watched during warm-ups. Back deep, Braden Murphy. He's number 16, back of the 5-yard line. Here's Fields' kick. And he's going to go for Murphy and over his head into the end zone. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. And that is where things will begin for the Lufkin Panthers tonight.
Coach King will take that all night long. If he can put that ball in the end zone, get no return. They had the one man back in the middle of the field. He wasn't going to be able to run all the way over to the corner of the end zone to field it. As soon as it hit the turf, it was a whistle, and they get the ball at the 25.
Let's set up the offense. It's TJ Hammond at quarterback. He's a 6'1", 215-pound junior. Keep your eye on Kendron Young. He is number 3. He'll be the guy to watch tonight. He had 262 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in the win over A&M Consolidated, including a 99-yard touchdown run. So on first down, they'll go to the ground. It will not, however, be Young. Instead, it's going to be the second back. That's Javory Garrett, who gets the first carry. We saw his dad today when we were eating dinner tonight at Ray's.
Well, if you've ever been to Lufkin, you've probably had an opportunity to go to the historic Ray's Drive-In. That's where we had our dinner about 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon with the Blue Hairs. And he was in there with his younger son, talking football.
All right, second down and 8 after a 2-yard gain by Javory Garrett, the senior. Hammond in the gun, back 2 steps, looking middle of the field. That one is caught with coverage. Orion Hart makes the catch on the coverage that time is Jaden Simmons. It'll be a first down for the Panthers out at the 41-yard line, a pickup of 16.
Tell you what, nice slant pattern, but it was an excellent throw that made it work. Simmons still had pretty decent coverage, and had his hand out there trying to knock it away, but Hammond put enough on it to get it in there for the first down.
And that's kind of news for Lufkin. They have not thrown a ton. 497 yards passing for Hammond this year, 5 touchdowns, just 1 interception. He's 33 of 54, so a little better than 60% throwing the football. First down and 10, 41-yard line. To the ground they'll go, and again it's Garrett who plows forward out to the 46-yard line. At the bottom of that pile, Omarion Watkins, who leads the team in tackles, the senior defensive nose guard with 20 tackles this season, which you never really see a defensive tackle leading the team in tackles.
Well, on that nose, he's athletic, and so no surprise he gets his hand on a lot of ball carriers.
5-yard gain for Garrett. Not yet seen Kedron Young, touching the football. Young got an offer from Arizona this week, his second offer of the season, to go play college football. He'll get the carry this time. Defense on him as he pushes towards the 50-yard line. It looks like about the 49. For a gain of about 2.5 or 3. It'll bring up third down for the first time for the Panthers.
You talked about their passing numbers. This is a spread football team, but they are very tight in this gun that they set up. They got the offensive linemen very tight, but they do have 3 wideouts, backs on either side of the quarterback Hammond, who right now is checking his wristband. Looks like he's making sure everybody's in the right alignment.
We know you can't see the clock, so we'll keep it up for you. 9:45 to play in the quarter. First drive of the game, Lufkin Panthers with the football. Hammond back to pass, looking again to that side, and little confusion that time as his receiver broke in. He threw out. That was Jacorius Taylor, the intended target, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, a little surprise there on 3rd and short. They decide to try to move the sticks with the passing game. They had success between the tackles, but decided it was time to go to the air. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, the quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Eddie Vargas is the punter. We watched him in warm-ups. He struggled to get one past 35 or 37 yards. We'll see if he does here. He's got a little time, and he line drives one low, gets a bounce for the Panthers, and will go down to the 20-yard line. So it's basically a 31-yard punt, and the Lobos will take over for the first time with 9:32 left to play here in the first quarter. We are scoreless.
It was the rugby style, and so it's very difficult to handle that. Willie Nelson, who usually returns punts, saw that a week ago against Tyler Legacy, intended to stay away from those.
All right, well, the first drive, not a ton. 5 plays, 24 yards, and here come the Lobos now on offense, and let's set them up. Offensively, it's Jax Norman, Mongo Williams, Tavion Morgan, Jacoby Watts, and Martin Guerrero on the offensive line from left to right. First down, fake the handoff, back to pass, Allen caught. That's Hale across the 35 to the 37-yard line, and the Lobos have a first down on a gain of 17, 18, 19 on the first play of the game.
Just as they did a week ago, they come out in the gun. They don't come out into the eye that we associate with John King football. Instead, they're in the gun. Taylor Tatum's not on the field, and they take advantage of one of the top receivers in the country.
All right, so gain, they're actually going to save 20 on the play down to the 40-yard line. So it's going to be first down. This time it is a handoff across the 40 for a yard or two, Taylor Tatum. And second down and 9's coming up.
A lot of people around Tatum that time. They're in that I formation, straight play right at the tackle spot, offensive tackle spot, but not much room to run there, and so a very short gain on first down.
Taylor Tatum coming into this game, obviously as the leading rusher, 299 yards on 34 carries. So he's gone over the 300-yard mark with that carry tonight.
That's not very many carries a game.
No, it's really not. Back to pass, Allen. This one in the backfield, caught by Elijah Johnson. He is caught in the backfield, and will be dropped for a yard loss. On the tackle that time is Chris Monsigler, who's kind of an outside linebacker, defensive end hybrid.
That's really what you want there. You want to get that back in space one-on-one. He didn't win the battle that time. The defender wrapped him up, brought him down for no gain at all. If anything, they may have lost a little bit off that first down play, and so now it's 3rd and long against the Panthers.
Yep. So first real obvious passing situation. The rest of the offense, Angel Ramos is the tight end. Back to pass, Jordan Allen. He's got time. He's got a man caught on the sideline. That is going to be at the 44-yard line of Lufkin, and that is D.K. Reese, the junior, with his 8th catch of the season.
Reese has emerged as the number 2 target on this ball club, does a fine job. That time he had very soft coverage that backed off on him and allowed him to break out wide open. And once again, we see this ever-improving quarterback play for Longview.
Well, they needed about 10. They picked up 16. First down in Lufkin territory. Handoff to Johnson across the 40. He'll fall forward to the 38-yard line where he goes for 6, and it's second down and 4.
A week ago in the second half, Jordan Allen stayed in the game for a couple of drives and worked on those out patterns, the timing on those out patterns. And you wonder at the time, why has he got his starter in there? It's a blowout. There's no way that Tyler's coming back. But I think that's why, to work on those type of patterns we saw that picked up the first down.
Hale's going to split out far right. Reese and Freddie Hawkins. Now, actually, it's Taylor Tatum in the slot now. They'll empty the backfield, and we got a flag before we ever get going, and there was motion on the Lobos, and they'll go back 5 yards. That penalty comes with 7:14 left to play in this first quarter.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Cam Lister, the corner, was out there on Hale all alone. The safety that Menifee had stepped up expecting a running play, and so unfortunate that you had the 5-yard penalty, and unfortunate you didn't get to operate a play where you had an obvious mismatch out wide.
Here's the defensive personnel for the Panthers. Braylon Holman and Christian Crane are the ends. Jordan McClendon and Brendan Baker are the tackles. Charlie Deaton, Chrisman Silgler are the outside linebackers. Inside linebacker Tanner Harvard. And now Taylor Tatum. He's going to be bounced across the 40 and we'll say down around the 37-yard line. So he basically got back the 5 plus a couple, and now it's third down.
Third down, very manageable. Part of the field where if you don't get the first down, you feel like you'll probably go for it on fourth down, so you don't have to get too fancy here. You just got to man up and get a couple of yards and get you a first down.
The secondary for the Panthers, Jacorius Taylor's number 5. He's a senior corner. Cam Lister's the other one. He's number 6. Safeties are Isaiah Menifee and Michael Mosley. Third down and 2. Back to the ground, back to Tatum. He'll have the first down as he got plugged up going to the right, moved over to the left, found a little crease, and got down to the 31-yard line for a gain of 5, and they'll move the chains.
Sometimes the best attribute a running back can have is patience. That time, Taylor Tatum got to the line and there wasn't an obvious hole. He just kind of hid in there behind his offensive line. Then when the hole became apparent, he slid off tackle, went and got the first down.
First down, 31-yard line. Freddie Hawkins going out far to the right. We've got Jartavian Wright coming. He's on the left. This one's going to be a handoff to Tatum, sweeping right, and he's dumped at about the 26-yard line. In on the tackle that time for the Panthers is Braylon Holman, the senior defensive end.
And that's what we really see Tatum do the least this year, operate outside. He's had success when he does it, but typically John King likes to run him between the tackles. When he does get outside, he's got the breakaway speed he needs. Looks like he's going to step off the field, and they'll probably go back to the gun here on 2nd and 3.
5.5 minutes left to play first quarter. Second down and 3.5, almost 4 for the first down. Heavy formation left. They'll give it to Elijah Johnson. He's got the first down at the 20-yard line where he's tackled in the open field. Good tackle that time by Chrisman Sigler, and it's first down Lobos again.
Once again, Elijah's being a workhorse here tonight. He does a great job, particularly when they're in that gun formation. They like to have him run the football. He's also an excellent pass catcher out into the flat. He can slide off a block and get out there in the flat and operate.
All right, first down and 10, 20-yard line. Taylor Tatum back into the game. Hale's going to come down. He's matched up with Jacorius Taylor here on the near side. Hand off to Elijah, up the middle, gets 5, bounces off a tackler, still trying to go forward, and still hasn't gone down. They're going to blow a whistle on forward progress, but he never put a knee down. They'll stop him at about the 14-yard line for a gain of 6, but he never went down.
They set that play up about 2 plays back. When they ran Tatum wide a couple of plays ago, they basically showed they were going to do that time. Instead, wrap around a little handoff, go underneath to Elijah, but well set up 2 plays ago when they ran Tatum wide.
I don't know who you give credit for a tackle on. There wasn't one. Second down and 4 at the 14-yard line. Back to the ground, back to Tatum, sweeping near side. First down across the 10. He'll drag defenders with him to the 6-yard line where he's thrown out of bounds. 68 is Kristen Simmons, who's checked into the game. He is a senior defensive lineman involved in that tackle on Taylor. Clock down to 4:14.
First and goal from the 6, and nobody's got any points on the board, but right now the Lobos are at the door knocking.
This is an impressive opening drive for Longview so far. First down and goal. 4 minutes and counting here in the quarter. Handoff again to Tatum. Got a little crease and will just jog on in, leaving in his wake Braylon Holman, who dove at his feet, couldn't get there. And the Lobos get the first score of this ball game with 3:54 left to play in the first quarter. 6-0 Longview on Taylor Tatum's yet another touchdown run. That's number 8 of the season.
On the previous play, Johnson was the lead blocker, did a great job. That time, Johnson's more of a fake. You're going to him. Instead, Tatum slides outside, does an excellent job of just squeezing into the corner of the end zone. Doesn't take a hit, which you can, but why if you don't have to?
All right. Andrew Tutz, the holder. Michael Fields on for the point after try. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. We'll make it a 7-0 lead with 3:54 left to play in the first quarter. We'll take a break here on Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Talk to State Farm agent Charlene Ingram today.
Well, welcome back to that impressive drive. Lobos go 12 plays, 80 yards, take 4:41 off the clock, and have a 7-0 lead on Taylor Tatum's 6-yard touchdown run. Michael Fields ready to kick off now. Back deep, Braden Murphy. Here's the kick from Fields, and this one is powering toward the goal line. Murphy's going to grab it with his right foot in the end zone. He'll come out 15 and won't make the 20. Boy, the Lobos, who were so good on special team kick coverage last week, continue it tonight as they hold him to an 18-yard return. First down for the Panthers at the 19-yard line.
We talked about Fields getting the ball in the end zone the first time, and John King, I'm sure, loves that. You don't have as much collisions. You get on, you get off. But as you described, they were excellent a week ago. When Tyler Lee tried to return kicks, it typically left them inside their own 20, much like we see the Panthers starting right now.
You said Tyler Lee, drinking game. There's
Legacy,
one. You owe me one.
Well, you know, I didn't have one all last week.
All right, first down and 10, 19-yard line. TJ Hammond, the quarterback. He's back to pass. Got a man and overshoots him just a little bit. Murphy, the intended target. Here's the defense for the Lobos. We didn't get it on the first series. Billy Smith and Jordan Wright are the defensive ends, but you will see out there Zarius Shepard, number 55. In fact, he's on the field right now, as well as 48, LaQuavion Jackson. Linebackers, Jeremiah Rougley, Gaden Brooks, Tatarian Boone, and Chase Smith. However, look for 34, Brendan Reese a lot. J.K. Curry and Jaden Simmons are the corners. Willie Nelson and Buda Garrett are the safeties. Second down and 10.
If you're new to the presentation, keep an eye on that number 6 at safety. He's a lot of fun to watch.
And Will on second down, run a little quarterback late option pitch. That was all kinds of trouble. And Kedron Young falls on it. They're going to call this, an incomplete pass, I think. Let's see how they're going to do this. Yep, incomplete pass. And so it'll be third down and 10.
Yeah, that was one that the running back had already gone out and got in front of the quarterback, and so it turns out to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it was an ugly play from the get-go. It almost looked like Lufkin, somebody made the wrong decision as that play started, and they were out of position. All right, third down and 10, 3:39 left to play here in the first quarter. Lobos up 7-0. Hammond's been playing out of the gun the entire time. He'll split Garrett out of the backfield. Pressure coming. Pass middle, intercepted. Picked off in the middle of the field. This is going to be 2 weeks in a row. Touchdown for Tadarian Boone. Boone with 2 scores on defense in 2 weeks. He returns that 25 yards. And just like that, the Lobos have a 13-0 lead.
Well, the pocket began to collapse around Hammond. He rushed the throw, and when he did, he hit Boone not in between the numbers, the single-digit 4. He was right there, and Boone made a nice little move to get into the end zone.
The touchdown maker to Darian Boone with a couple of scores over the last 2 weeks. And the Lobos have a little more breathing room at 13-0. Fields on for another point after try. This defense now with 3 scores in the last 4 quarters. Snap is there. Fields up with a kick. 14-0 Lobos. Comes with 3:31 left to play in the quarter. We'll take a break here on Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Come check out Crunch Fitness with a free guest pass.
Well, welcome back. So far, been a pretty nice start for the Wolfpack with a 14-0 lead. Lobos up already. 1 offensive touchdown on a long drive. 1 defensive touchdown on a pick 6. Just the way John King drew it up.
We'll keep drawing it up that way.
Here's the kick. Fields again a little bit short of the end zone. Murphy will grab it at the 1. To the 10, the 15, the 20, 25, and he's upended at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Longview's going to pick up and add an extra 15 on a not-so-good decision that time on the far side.
Zarius Shepard, by the way, was the man who made the tackle over there. And then you're right, a little bit of shenanigans, and they'll add a little unsportsmanlike on, it looks like.
Yeah, and I didn't get the exact number. I think it may have been 20, but I don't want to blame somebody. I'm not 100% sure, but you had a Longview player throw a Lufkin player to the ground after the whistle had blown, and he drew the whistle, and that's going to mean 15 yards further up the field for the Panthers to start this drive.
All right, first, make that second penalty of the Lobos so far tonight.
By the way, only a 5-man officiating crew tonight. Typically, most schools on Friday nights have gone to 7-man crews. This is the old traditional 5-man crew. You got a line judge, a head linesman, back judge, umpire, and a white hat. No side judges tonight. It's old style.
Well, they moved that up 20 yards. I think they're a little long on the penalty spot. That thing actually, that dead ball was at the 27-yard line. They've moved it to the 47-yard line.
Well, the foul happened up the field. I don't know if they called that as a spot foul. That's why it's up that far or not, but he was about 5 or 6 yards up the field from where the play ended.
Well, it sure feels like something's not right about that one. You get 15 to the end of it, not 20. But it'll be first down at the 47-yard line. On first down, handoff to Young. He's got a block. He's got the lane. And he'll be taken out of bounds across the 30, and actually may have stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Looks like they'll mark him down after a gain of 13.
Defender took a bad angle at the football that time and allowed him to get outside. Young took full advantage of it, and so good start. They've kind of flipped safeties over right now, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Willie Nelson had been on that far side. He may be playing the wide side right now.
All right, first down and 10, 40-yard line. Longview side of the field, handoff again. Again Young, and oh my goodness, he gets hit hard at the 40-yard line. Boone in on the tackle. I'm not sure if Shepard was the other who got there, but it may have been actually the linebacker, Caden Brooks, there for a gain of 1, second down and 9.
You know, we've been curious all year, will there be a team that just tries to manhandle the Lobos up the middle? They run that 3-man front, and they're not very big on the defensive line. 3
receivers split out to the right this side for the Panthers. On second down and 9, Young in the backfield with TJ Hammonds. He's back to pass, looking to his left of that one receiver. That one's caught and will be short of the first down. On the reception, Braden Walker, who's good for about 8 yards. It'll bring up third down in the yard. That was Curry on the coverage that time for the Lobos.
Curry played him soft, and that gave Hammond the opportunity to have him hook that thing and get it to him and get a big play on second down. That leaves it 3rd and short and obvious 4-down territory.
All right, so 3rd down and about a yard. And let's see. Hammond's going to have just again Curry back there with him. Excuse me, a Young back there with him. Looking now, throws the other way. That one almost picked. It's caught, however, inside the 20-yard line. 83 is the receiver.
Kevondrick Taylor.
Yep, sophomore Kevondrick Taylor. This is a school that uses 11 sophomores this year.
I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good play by Hammond. He didn't get his feet set. Awkward throw, almost looked like a shortstop making a throw there across the diamond, but he found his receiver. A huge play. And big answer right now from Lufkin, but they need to put it in the end zone.
Gain of 13 on that one. And it brings up a 1st down and 10 at the Lobo 17-yard line. Handoff Young, he runs over one defender and finally is tackled open field by Jaden Simmons, but treated rather rudely that time was Chase Smith, who got run over. 3 ran into 3, and R3 didn't do so well.
Chase used to be a safety. This year they moved him to a linebacker. He's a sure-handed tackler. That's an impressive run. In fact, I was impressed that time. Young showed some power when he knocked the defender down and then had a nice little spin move to finish the run off.
Gain of 4 on the play. And 2nd down and 6. 1:02 left to play in the quarter. 14-0 Lobos. Hammond's waving his receiver to the other side. Handoff again. No, he's going to fake it, throws the other way, and it bounces in there. The receiver getting up from his flat belly. I don't know what he thinks is going to happen. John King is calling that's an incomplete pass, number 1. Number 2, he certainly shouldn't be allowed to get up and run.
Well, King wants a spot move back to begin with. If they're going to call that a catch, you got to move it back. This isn't Sunday afternoon. You can't get up and run with it.
Yeah, they push him back to the 16-yard line, so a loss of 3.
Yeah, that play didn't develop well because I don't think Taylor was where he needed to be at the snap. He was late heading that way. Hammond had the play clock winding down and had to go ahead and snap it.
All right, 15 seconds in the quarter. 3rd down and 10 coming up. They'll do it again. Taylor in motion from right to left. Back to pass. In some trouble. Going to throw one up for the back of the end zone. There's contact and a catch made back of the end zone. It's the 2nd time Braden Walker's gotten a catch. This one back of the end zone. And it's a 14-6 ball game as he picked on Curry again.
That's exactly what the Panthers needed to stay alive in this ball game. They were down 14-0, had made a terrible mistake. Hammond redeems himself on this drive, makes 2 or 3 really nice throws to put Lufkin in the end zone and on the scoreboard.
So a couple of catches on this drive by Taylor. And on for the point after try. Here's a kicker for the Panthers. That is Nolan Hannard. He makes that 14-7 ball game with 3 seconds to play in the quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the kickoff and the quarter break here on Longview Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
House party? We got you covered. Office meeting? Come on, treat them right. Game day? You know we're here for it. Get your taco, nacho, or fajita bar today, only at Juicy's Taco.
All right, welcome back. 14-7 ball game. We got 3 seconds left in the quarter, but the Panthers answer after the defensive touchdown by Longview with a pretty impressive drive of their own.
Indeed it was, and I tell you what, it was a nice mix of passing and running the football, and if they can do that, they might be able to keep this excellent Lobo defense off balance this evening.
All right, well, we'll hit you with that drive. 7 plays, 53 yards, took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We've got 1 play left in this quarter if this kickoff's in the field of play and not fair caught. And it will be. It'll be grabbed by Kelvin Washington at the 10-yard line. And he's still going. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to say he stepped out at the 40. 9-yard line. So it'll be first down Lobos at the 49, a short field to deal with when we come back for the second quarter here on Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
All right, welcome back. Second quarter action about to begin as we start a brand new quarter. 14-7 Lobos with the lead following the, again, touchdown drive that time. 47 yards, 7 plays. After the, actually 53 yards on those 7 plays. And really the weird extra 5-yard penalty on the unnecessary roughness on the kickoff. Back to the game. Jordan Allen going deep. Jalen Hale's there. He lost the ball for a second. He'll make the catch falling down at the 10-yard line. It looked like for just a minute he lost sight of the ball, and when he tracked it, he ended up having to come way inside on a deep post pattern, and he'll go it for 41 yards, and it's first down Lobos inside the 10.
What a difference a year makes. A year ago, Jordan Allen often underthrew those plays. This year, he almost overthrew his receiver. Hale made a heck of a play at the end to hit the gas and go get that one.
They're actually going to mark him down at the 7, not the 10, so add 3 more yards to that and make that a 44-yard completion. First down to the ground, Taylor Tatum. Boy, that's impressive. 2 plays. You get a long kickoff for 39 yards. You get a 44-yard pitch and catch, and then you get a 7-yard Taylor Tatum run. His second of the game, his 9th of the season, and it's a 2-play drive, and the Lobos grab another touchdown onto the lead.
Well, that's microwave balance. We talked about Lufkin's touchdown drive was a nice mix of running and passing. You had one of each, but that long pass play set the thing up.
That has got to be frustrating for Lufkin. You fought all the way back to get to this, and then it's 2 plays later, and you give up a touchdown. We're going to have motion, it looks like, on the Lobos. I'll move this kick back 5 yards.
By the way, going back to the kick return, which was Kelvin Washington, I think he's the one that got the 15-yard penalty that set up their drive. Little redemption for number 20 on the big kick return that we overlooked as well, because that's what got that drive jump-started.
No question. 5'7", 155-pound sophomore with the big kick return. And before we can get a snap, we got another motion penalty on the Lobos. So back-to-back penalties on the point after try, and this is going to start to become a challenging field goal attempt.
Well, I chuckle. I'm sure John King is not laughing right now. This is going to make it further, and the further back it gets, the more likely you are to get blocked. It gets blocked. You got to worry about a return. You want to take care of your business. You know, it was so impressive a week ago. They got the first 9 extra points right.
Yeah.
Then missed number 10.
There's Fields for the point after. So what? Move us back 10 yards. We'll get it anyway. So Fields bangs in the point after. It's a 21-7 lead with 11:29 to play. And how about that for an answer?
Pretty impressive drive, and it started with the kickoff return. Huge play as they got Hale one-on-one. We talked about it earlier. They had the safety. Menifee sucked up playing the run. If they're going to do that all night, you figure at some point Jordan Allen's going to take that shot back down the field with Jalen Hale as a potential receiver.
All right, well, with 11:29 to play in this first half, Lobos have touched the ball twice offensively. They have scored twice. They've touched the ball once defensively. They scored on that. And they lead by a couple of touchdowns.
21-7. If you are going to the kitchen or going to the bathroom, you're going to miss some scoring tonight.
Yeah, don't be gone long. We're going to keep going without you. Take us with you. Walk your phone with you. If you're going in the kitchen, we could use a hot dog. Put a couple on the pan. We'll grab some of those on the way out of town.
Well, we ate at Ray's on the way tonight, so
it's been a few hours.
I could go for some popcorn, just a little microwave popcorn. I'm not picky.
All right. 21-7 the score. 11:29 left to play in the half. Fields kick. A little shorter this time, trying to stay away from Murphy. It's grabbed at the 10-yard line and to the 21. Just an 11-yard return that time by Lufkin's own number 20. That's Javori Garrett, senior running back, and it'll be first down at the 21-yard line.
We talk about their team speed on defense. They've got great speed and great discipline on their kick coverage. This is 2 weeks in a row we've seen them just be excellent in that facet of the game. And if you're John King, I know you don't like the collisions, but they do such a great job of when he kicks it in play of being able to cover it. Last week, Legacy finally just decided to start fair catching it and taking it at the 25.
All right, at the 21-yard line. First down and 10. Hammonds loses his mouth guard, gets it back in. Now,
he's a football player. He drops it on the turf, picks it back up, puts it in his mouth.
You don't want to lose that, though. You want that. All right, first down. Hammond's calling for the football. Hands it off to Young. Couple of yards, maybe the 24-yard line. That's all she wrote. Second down coming up. Jordan Wright on the tackle that time for the Lobos.
Shout out to my buddy Kevin Buchanan in Memphis. Kevin was a standout pitcher for Longview back in the day, but then moved to Lufkin, raised his children. They were Panthers, but tonight he says he's rooting for the alma mater, Longview High School.
Tell you what, we got Tate Casey watching from Florida. Great to see you, Tate. Hopefully we can bring a win home. All right, second down, 7. Another handoff to Young. Boy, he started getting a little momentum, and then everything stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And that's Billy Smith who got there first, grabbed him from behind. It'll be third down.
Billy, who got to pick one out of the air last week on a deflection and ran it into the end zone for 6.
3-yard gain on that play. Third down and about 5 coming up now.
By the way, instead of taking the win home, let's take it to Florida.
We could do that.
I wouldn't mind. Oh, I got to go to Austin tomorrow. Never mind.
I just don't want to end up in Martha's Vineyard. I'm just saying. 10-12 left to play in the half. Third down. Hammond's back to pass. He's got some time. He's got a receiver. That's caught. And Taylor again with the catch and the first down. It's Jaden Simmons on the coverage.
Simmons, who had an excellent sophomore year, changed numbers. He was, 37 last year?
He was.
This year he likes to go to that single digit, wearing the number 9. They've worked on him a couple times, but he keeps the receiver in front of him. Don't want to give up that big play. Hammond back in the gun again. He's checking his wristband there.
All right, at the 34-yard line, first down for the Panthers. 10 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in this first half. 21-3, low snap. Hammond's had to dig it out, and boy, I'm telling you what, Omarion Watkins just lowered the boom on the running back, Kadrian Young, on a low snap. The whole timing, everything was messed up, but Watkins, who has been so impressive this season, had 12 tackles against Marshall 2 weeks ago, just got loose and unloaded.
Well, bad snap, took the play out of sync, and that allowed him to come in and just lower the boom on the back.
That is a 4-yard loss, and it brings up second down and 14.
We'll see how they work when they kind of have to pass here.
Empty backfield. He's going to go for Young in the flat. Closing on him is Boone. He gets away from Boone but steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So a gain of just 5, and it's going to bring up third down.
We talked about the difficulty of facing this Longview defense when it's an obvious passing down. Good call that time. They took the back in motion, got him out there in some space, let him pick up 5 yards, make 3rd and 9 a little easier than 3rd and 15.
9:18 left. They'll move down Caden Brooks to a rush spot at right defensive end. Here he comes. Third down pass again out in the flat. That one is caught and very close to a first down. Orion Hart with his second catch of the game at the 43-yard line. They may be just shy of the first down.
Good spot for Lufkin that time. It's the same thing they've done. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th. Now they're going to bring the punting unit out. But it's what they've been going to over there. They're giving them soft coverage on the far side. Simmons is backing off. keeping the receiver in front of him. That means safety's probably cheating back towards the wide side of the field. We'll see here if this is point of the field where you sometimes think about the fake.
Willie Nelson's back at the 25. Vargas is the punter. Snap is on the money. He'll rugby style, and boy, it's a low line drive. Takes a big hop and a Lufkin roll and goes out of bounds at the 23, maybe the 22-yard line. They got very lucky on the forward bouncing that time.
Panther defense better step up because it's already 21-7, 8:28 left to go here in the half. You don't want to go down 28-7 because then you got to start pressing. You want to stay within a couple of scores, stick to your game plan. Right now, if you're Longview, you're kind of thinking, let's start putting this team away.
Well, you got a 2-score lead right now, and so far the offense has not been stopped remotely at all. I mean, it's not even been close. 22-yard line, we'll go back to it. Jordan Allen under center this time. Straight running play. Taylor Tatum runs into the defensive line, goes for maybe a yard, falls forward for more, but they'll stop him at the 23-yard line for a 1-yard gain.
Longview goes a little vanilla there. They go between the tackles. That's where they historically have liked to run the football. John King likes smash mouth. It'd be interesting to see if they continue to try to spread out this Panther defense or decide we're just going to put the hammer down on them here with 8 to go in the half.
2nd down and 9.
They go back to the spread with Tatum in the slot.
Fake the handoff. Allen going down. He'll dump it off instead. 30, 35, a lot of running room, and knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. That is Jamerson Derensburg on the catch in the run, and it's a first down for the Lobos at the 42-yard line.
Impressive little play there. They put Tatum in the slot. He drew some attention. Instead, they do basically a little one lineman screen. They had the one blocker in front of the receiver, and it worked for a first down.
Tell you what, all the receivers on the right side gave that away. They all took about 3 steps and just stopped. Wright and Hale now to the right. Handoff Tatum up the middle. Dumped. Boy, it's a good open field tackle. Middle linebacker Tanner Havard makes that tackle. He had 8 tackles last week and a 75-yard pick 6.
No Johnson in the backfield that time, and so he didn't have that lead back blocking for him. That's just Tatum, and there wasn't much there.
2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain. Checking out Angel Ramos, number 44, into the game. Elijah Johnson coming back. 7:16 and counting in the half. 21-7. Lobos with the lead. 2nd down and 9, 43-yard line.
Stay in the gun this time with backs on either side.
They're keeping everybody tight today. Fake the handoff, back to pass. He's got a man. That is Tatum, caught in the flat. He's going to make a move and have the first down just about. He's about a yard shy. But he goes into Lufkin territory at the 49-yard line.
Now, how do you describe those steps when he caught the ball? A little cha-cha action there. He froze the defender. Not sure if he was ready to commit on the tackle or not, but some fancy footwork, and then he lowered the boom on him with the shoulder.
I'm not going with the cha-cha. I'm just going to tell you right now.
The guy used to be the receiver for the Giants. It had a little
the cha-cha?
No, he had a little move he did in the end zone.
Yeah. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to think about it.
All right.
3rd and short. Handoff Tatum. First down Lobos as he drags guys to the 42-yard line for a gain of 7. He needed 1.
Yeah, no cha-cha that time. Just smash mouth football. Tatum between the tackles.
That's chomp as he's chomping up yardage.
He's going to leave the field along with the tight end.
Tatum, 10 carries, 50 yards. He leads everybody in that category. 6:42 and counting here in the half. Elijah Johnson in the backfield. He's going to get the fake. Back to pass. A lot of time throwing sideline. That one almost picked. That's very, very close over there as Jacorius Taylor staying with DK Reese. And the pass is incomplete and makes it 3rd down.
Allen had 2 options on that play. He had the receiver downfield he eventually threw to. His other option on that play is to back out of the backfield that time. And Elijah Johnson got held up, so the safety valve wasn't there. Probably should have put that thing somewhere over there on the track because the coverage on the outside was good.
Freddie Hawkins checking in. He's wide right. Cam Lister's going to pick him up. Hale's in the slot. And this is handoff to Johnson. Across the 40 down to the 37-yard line. I inadvertently said third down. That was a second down play. Now it's third and about 4.
Really nice play on a 2nd and 10. Go get you 5-6 yards. Makes it so much more manageable. We always talk about the fact in this part of the field you got that extra down to pick up the first down. Like the call, you didn't have to try to go get all 10 of it on 2nd and 10.
6:02 and counting.
21-7, Longview out in front of this one.
3rd down and 5. Right, he's got a lot of action here in this first half, and Tatum's going to be in the slot next to him on the near side. And this is going to be Allen all the way, right up the middle, 30, 25, 20, 15. They'll drag him down from behind inside the 15. A flag comes in late on that, on the diving tackle by Chrisman Sigler.
Yeah, that's borderline horse collar, depending on where he got his hands on him. If he wrapped him from behind, that's fine, but if he got up there anywhere in that shoulder area, that's considered a horse collar.
Now they mark him down at the 12, so it was a 25-yard run.
Personal foul's the call. Face mask is what they're calling.
So they'll get him half the distance from there and put it down at the 6-yard line.
He must have wrapped all the way around that shoulder and got some of that mask. We're a little ways off from that particular play. We're up here on about the 30-yard line on the opposite end of the field, 40 rows up. At what is a very steep stadium here at Wade Martin.
Yes, it is. An oxygen tank climb, if you will.
We don't need a Sherpa.
No, Frank needs a Sherpa. Frank and the crew had to haul all this equipment up here. They are the heroes of this evening.
We get a timeout here.
All right, timeout coming. 5:19 left to play in this first half. We'll keep it here during the half. Of course, coming up at halftime, we will get the Lobos marching band. We'll get the Panther marching band. You're going to get some outstanding bands. You said at the beginning of this broadcast, we're not far from the Panther band, who happen to be the 5A, 6A defending state champions in band.
Yeah, we're up here on the top row. I think we could almost be honorary members of the tuba section. Tuba's up top. That's where we are tonight.
All right, we've got a 21-7 game. First timeout taken by the Lobos tonight. 5:19 left to play in this first half. Lobos came out after stopping the Panthers on the first drive. They got their own nice drive, an 80-yard drive that ended with a Taylor Tatum touchdown run. 2 plays later, a kickoff and a couple of offensive plays later, pick 6 by Tadarian Boone to make it 14-0. The Panthers will answer with a touchdown drive of their own that results in a touchdown pass. And then the Lobos came right back, scored another one to make it a 21-7 ball game. And here they are knocking on the door after holding the Panthers and forcing them to punt on the last series. They've been driving down the field. Handoff Elijah Johnson. He's looking for the end zone and will be, well, we're going to say in or not. There he is. We finally get a referee who decides he's in, and it's 27-7 with 5:11 left to play in the first half.
Came out in spread formation, single back set. Johnson's there beside the quarterback. They go right up the gut, and all that credit goes to the middle of that Lobo offensive line. Got a tremendous push. And there at the very end, Johnson had to use his legs to get into the end zone.
Elijah with the touchdown run from 7 yards away to make it a 27-7 lead. His second touchdown run of the year. Fields with the point after. That is up and good. We'll make it 28-7. 5:11 left to play in the first half. We'll take a break. We'll come right back here on Game Day.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
Well, another impressive Lobo drive. 9 plays, 78 yards, 313 and it's a 28-7 lead. Lobos have touched the ball offensively now 3 series. They've gone 12 for 80, 2 plays 51, 9 plays 78, have scored all 3 times. And this is a recipe for a blowout if the Panthers can't keep up scoring, because right now they can't stop the Lobos.
Well, with 5:11 left here, they better get something on the board before the half or they're in trouble. Longview gets the ball to start the second half.
Here's the kickoff by Fields. It bounces at the 10, stays in the field of play, and just goes out of bounds. That's a live ball. And he almost made a very bad mistake, did the Lufkin return man, but that thing took a little bit of a left turn and got out of bounds at the 2-yard line, and it'll come back out to the 35.
Fields followed it all the way down inside the 2-yard line and realized it was eventually going to go out, but by that time, there were Lobos zeroing in on that football, but fortunately it went out. They get their best starting position off a kickoff all night long.
All right, well, trailing by 3 scores, this is almost half to possession for the Panthers.
Get the ball on the 30 after the 5-yard penalty for it going out of bounds.
Another penalty on Longview. I don't think Lufkin's had one yet, have they?
Don't remember one.
Don't think so. First down and 10. Of course, they've got, we'll trade penalties for touchdowns. They can win the penalty battle, we'll win the touchdown battle. First down at the 30-yard line. TJ Hammond back at quarterback. First down pass. This is caught over here on the near side. 21 for Lufkin, and I didn't get his name in there early. Brandon Walker. I actually didn't put him on my machine here to keep track of all the stats, but he catches that and goes for a few yards out to the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. Second down coming up.
Yeah, a little bubble screen that time, well executed. That's the type of patience that Lufkin needs to try to get down the field and get a score here. They don't need to try to get it all back on one play. Just move the sticks. They had a nice drive earlier. Let's see if they can replicate that here.
Actually, they gave him more than I thought. They gave him 7 on the play, so it's second down and 3. 4:30 left to play in the first half.
Really trying to spread that Lobo defense out right now.
Curry down here on the coverage on Walker near side. Looked like a little movement, but no flag. Pass other side, and that one is self-preservation by Braden Murphy. He saw defenders coming at him in a hurry and was going to be in all kinds of trouble. Chase Smith was the guy bearing down on him, and maybe the better part of valor on this one is to live for another play as he drops it, and it's going to be third down.
That's the wide side of the field version of the previous play. You've got 2 blockers in front of you on the bubble screen. That time, both defenders came right at the guy catching the ball. They just gave up on the blockers trying to cover them and came chasing after that football. They read it quickly.
Murphy doesn't have a catch in this game. He had 6 for 165 yards and a couple touchdowns in the win over Legacy a few weeks ago. They're going up top, and that one's picked. Willie Nelson with the interception at the 35-yard line. He'll go out of bounds inside the 35, and his second pick of the year gives the Lobos the ball back with 4:13 left to play in the half.
You want a scouting report on number 6, who's as a junior has a bunch of offers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, this may not be the way we thought it is.
Maybe a hold on the defense.
Laundry down back at the 45-yard line, and what looked like it was going to be a turnover is probably going to be a Lufkin first down instead.
Yeah, that's at the point of the field where you expect defensive holding. I don't know if the ball was in the air at that point, but there had been a little contact. Talking about Willie Nelson, though, one of the attributes he has, big hitter, great coverage skills, but he's got soft hands. That time he looked like a receiver hauling that thing in.
And here comes the call. It is pass interference on Longview, so take away the INT and give it a first down instead.
It's been early on there, right at the ball had left his hands, because ends up about 10 yards down the field. But either way, that is going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down. That is not a spot foul in high school.
So they'll move it to the, where were we, the 37-yard line. Should go up to the 48 of Longview if they mark this thing right. And they're going to go all the way back, and then they're going to re-step it off. So it should put the ball down in Longview territory, 48-yard line. Of course, we saw 5 extra yards get added on a penalty earlier, so there's no telling.
Well, we're not giving a math test tonight. We're just hoping it's fair and just.
All right, so we get a first down for Lufkin on the penalty. Yet another penalty for the Lobos tonight.
4:13 to go here, 28-7. Longview on top.
Little life for the Panthers after the taken away interception. Back to the ground, Young, nothing doing. Boy, he's hit in the backfield, and Zarius Shepard, X-Man again with a hit in the backfield. That's going to be a loss back across the 50-yard line for a loss of 2.
You're right. He X'd him out early. You talk about the X on the front end of his name there, but Shepard wrapped him up, and that was a no-doubt loss from the start.
Lobo defense getting a little salty, really going after Young and keeping him from being able to do much of anything. Second down, they're going to go back to almost 14. 3:30 left. Back to pass, Hammond. Got some pressure. He's going to throw this one way into the sideline on the Lufkin side, and he'll stop the clock with 3:26 to play and make it 3rd down and 14.
I'll tell you what, there was such a jailbreak by the defensive line that time. For a moment, I thought they were setting up a screen. They got back in the backfield so quickly. Not where you want to be. We've seen teams previously. We saw up in McKinney, Boyd use some screens. We saw Tyler Legacy use some screens. Screens, draws, whatever you have to do to combat, especially when they get 4 men in pass rush position like they have now.
3:26 to play, 3rd down. They're going to say 13. They got to get to the 39. Rolling Brooks is there, and oh my goodness, he just blew by the blockers. I think his tailback was supposed to help him out there, Kedron Young. He didn't get there in time as Caden Brooks just wailed away on the quarterback, who was fortunate to throw that thing away. Now, did he get it back to the line of scrimmage?
Well,
he wasn't grounding. He was hit when he threw it.
And that's what they're having a discussion about right now. The line judge and the white hat are saying the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. There really wasn't a receiver in position, but was his throw affected by the hit? I would argue yes, it was.
Yeah, I would too. I think T.J. Hammond would say yes, it was affected. Did you not see the man who ran me over? Caden Brooks was the guy who was there. They're still having a discussion about this. I can't imagine they're going to say
grounding. There's been no flag thrown.
All right, so it's going to be a 4th down, and they're still having this discussion.
Yeah, the white hat is indecisive. If he's come to the conclusion that it was grounding, he should have thrown a flag.
There it is.
He's come to the conclusion that it was grounding.
We're obviously homers here, but that certainly looked as though Caden Brooks affected that throw. We'll take it. It's going to be a mark-off, certainly, and the loss of down. And so it'll be 4th down back at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line. But if that's not a hit that affects the throw, I don't know what is.
Well, as I learned a week ago in Austin, Texas, many of us have a different opinion of what constitutes grounding in this particular game.
They do they?
Yes.
All right. Just saying. This goes all the way back to the 37. Vargas on for the punt, and it's an end-over-end affair. Willie's going to let it hit at the 30-yard line, and it's going to roll all the way inside the 5, and will stop at the 2. Well, that's a pretty impressive punt. 61 yards on the punt with 3:05 left to play in this first half.
Well, I think Willie was in shock. He'd been seeing rugby kicks all night long. All of a sudden, Vargas steps back, boots that one old-fashioned style. You and I kind of observed Vargas in warm-ups, not really getting a hold of a punt. That was the best one we've seen all night from him.
Yeah, 61-yarder. And it'll be a Longview ball at the 2.
Long way to go, 3:05 to get there if you're Longview.
All right, well, it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 2-yard line. Long field to deal with. You've got a couple of timeouts left. And on 1st down, handoff Taylor Tatum to the 10, 15, stops, and we'll go inside the 20. Face mask is going to be called on the defender over there who grabbed a hold of him. That looks like it was Michaela Credit who grabbed the face mask. And they're going to add some yardage onto this.
All right, tell me, for just a moment there, were you thinking Dorset versus Vikings?
I was not thinking that, but I was thinking a little longer run. I wasn't going there, I'll be honest.
All right, just checking your memory at this point, but they're going to tack another 15 on the end of that. So what was Pecuria's starting position is now plenty of time left to add more points to this if you're the Lobos.
All right, well, a play that started at the 2 is going to go all the way out to the 39. So you got that. First down and 10, Lobos at the 39-yard line. And we'll go back to the ground, and this time Elijah Johnson will go for 6.
Well, they finally got him down. That time Johnson looked a little winded there. He's had a busy half. He pops up. I mentioned a couple weeks ago where Johnson's got the ability in the post-game celebration to do a backflip. He and Hale both did one, I think, week 1. And so when he pops up like that, I don't know if he spent time in gymnastics class, but he's very agile.
I don't think anybody wants to see that, especially John King. Let's not see backflips. Handoff Taylor Tatum to the 49-yard line, and that should be a first down for the Lobos.
Really heady play that time by Taylor Tatum. If you wonder why so many schools are offering this young man, he thought about going for the home run for a moment, going to the outside. He saw the play was inside, gave the defender the idea he was going out, pops it inside, finishes the run strong, picks up a nice gain for a first down.
All right. First down, Lobos, 50-yard line. They're just hammering away here. Back to the ground, Tatum again, 45. Oh, what a great cut. Oh, my gosh, he drops the football. There's a scramble to get it. Looks like maybe following the play, the Lobos may have fallen on that thing. And let's see who comes out of there with it. One of the offensive linemen, and that may have been, let's see who got out of there with it. I think that was Jacoby Watts who recovered that thing, and it'll stay Lobo ball at the 33-yard line.
I don't know if Taylor had that thing punched out or just as he went to hit the accelerator, he lost grip on the thing, but for a moment it looked like he was headed to the house, and then for a moment it looked like he was going to be in the doghouse.
Yeah. That's a Tatum with a couple of nice runs, 33-yard line, back to pass. Allen, oh boy. Well, that was read in a hurry and well done that time by the corner for Lufkin. We've called his name a couple of times, Jacorius Taylor. As he read that and jumped that route, and actually the Lobos a little lucky that didn't get picked. We'll take a timeout as John King takes it with 1:24 left to play here in the first half. We're going to take one here as well on Longview Game Day.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Talk to State Farm agent Charlene Ingram today.
House party? We got you covered. Office meeting? Come on, treat them right. Game day? You know we're here for it. Get your taco, nacho, or fajita bar today, only at Juicy's Taco.
For you, now's the time to invest in yourself and your future.
All right, welcome back.
College.
Third down, well, second down. Second down, 12 coming up back at the 35-yard line. Hey, this is going to be a big week. Jalen Hale, who had that last catch for a couple-yard loss, Wednesday is going to make it official as he makes the announcement about which college is going to get his services for the next few years. Will it be Georgia? Will it be Bama? Will it be Texas? Those are what he's told us were the 3 finalists a few weeks ago. Wednesday is the announcement. So next time we see you against Lancaster, we'll know. Allen back to pass, hits Hale. Oh, what a burst of speed, and forget about it. All the way to the end zone as we're talking about him. How about some of that? 35-yard touchdown pitch and catch between Jordan Allen and Jalen Hale, and it's 34-7.
Great block to spring him. Well-designed play. They've had to get creative with Hale. He's seen a lot of double coverage this year, so they're coming up with different ways to get him touches. Still got a little bit of a referee conference over there. I haven't seen any laundry on the field that would indicate there'd be any reason to bring that thing back, but want to go back. We've seen them run drag routes with him even behind the line of scrimmage and do some other things. We got the wide hat. Looks like we're going to get unsportsmanlike on both teams after the play. They're not taking any points off the board.
No. So here is Michael Fields trying for his 5th point after try of this first half. They had a 35-point quarter last week against Legacy in the second quarter. They have had a 35-point half against an unbeaten Lufkin team who came in thinking they had something for the number 1 Lobos. For the first almost half of this game, they have not. Point after good. 35-7. We'll take the break. 1:15 left to play in the half here on Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
Back to kick for the Lobos, number 98.
All right, welcome back. 35-7 our score. Michael Fields will kick off with 1:15 left. Again, remember the Lobos are going to get the ball to start the second half.
Tell you what, they've quietened this home crowd here tonight. Big crowd at Abe Martin, but the ones that are sitting around us are very quiet right now.
Short pooch kick this time, 21-yard line. Trying to come this near side, and boy, that's an outstanding open field tackle by Longview's.
Is that Curry or is that 16?
That's Drake Mayfield.
Well, you're 100% correct on Mayfield's tackle there, and he had to make the tackle. I think the only person behind him was a kicker. So that time the pooch did not work out, I think, like the Longview staff had envisioned.
Well, a little something different. So it'll be first down with 1:10 left to play. 35-7 our score.
All right, you got 1:10 left. Are you just going to run the clock out, or are you going to try to get points?
No, I got to try to get points. If I run the clock out knowing Longview gets it first in the second half, I could be down 42-7 before I touch it again. I got to score. Hammonds goes to the ground. Handoff to Young, and a couple of yards. Buda Garrett came in there late.
But he's got 3 timeouts, and so we'll see if he uses the timeout here. Will be the real indicator of his intentions.
A gain of about 5. It'll be second down and 5.
And I would say he's pretty content to run this thing out.
Yep, 47 and counting. I think you're trying to see maybe after this second.
Yeah, if you make a big play here, you probably use a timeout.
All right, to the ground they'll go again. Young again. Cannot get much more than back to the line of scrimmage. Watkins again on the tackle, and now it's third down, and now you may let it run all the way out.
I agree. You got 40 seconds on the play clock, unless you decide just to throw a Hail Mary.
Can we do this? Kedron Young last week had 263 yards, 20 carries. He has 10 carries for 24 yards against his Longview defense so far.
That's not as good.
Again, it's math. It's math again.
I think it's team speed on defense right now.
And they'll snap it. Yep, last snap before the half ends. They'll throw one up there, and that one's going to be caught, and the half will end on a first down reception. And that's going to do it. What a dominating first half. Well, Ryan Hart with that catch. And the Lobos take the slow walk over to the locker room with a 35-7 lead. You know, Matt Stepp and company were telling this to be an upset alert ball game. It is not played out that way so far tonight. Lobos with a 28-point lead as they've just dominated Lufkin like they have their first 3 opponents. And we're going to start having this conversation about, is this the biggest margin for 4 weeks of victories? We know it was after 3. They're adding 28 to it already, and we're just halfway through this ball game. All right, Tony and I are going to stop talking for a while. The bands are about to come out here in just a little bit, but we will give you the stats at least before we get you out. Lufkin, 6 first downs, 31 yards on the ground, 76 through the air for a total of 107 yards of total offense. Longview, 16 first downs, 153 on the ground, 138 through the air. That is 291. Remember that, 291, 107. That's domination. Jordan Allen, 8 out of 9, 138 yards. Continues to be just otherworldly right now.
He's just so impressive, has made such great strides in the last 9 months since the end of last year.
All right, they're coming out. You don't want to hear us. You want to hear them. It's the Longview Lobo Band. We'll come back after the halftime performances for the second half here on Game Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Longview Independent School District is proud to present to the field for 58 years the 2022-2023 LHS US. Officers this year are left to right: Junior Lieutenant Abram Wilcox, Senior Lieutenant Hallie Mae Moore, Senior Lieutenant Hannah LaCory, Junior Lieutenant Emily Durrell, and in the center, your captain, Senior Haley Whitman. The VWETs will now entertain you with their delightful fan routine to Starboy. Of Mrs. Debbie McGowan and assisted by Mrs. Meg Lawrence. And now, the 2022 Longview High School Majorettes will perform a dance twirl routine to Industry Baby. Ladies and gentlemen, under the field direction of drum majors Ashley Rivera and Caitlin Clendenin, the Longview Independent School District is proud to present the award-winning Longview High School Lobo Band. This is the Big Green Marching Machine. Tires and Machinery, Judek Office Outfitters, O'Reilly Family McDonald's Restaurants, Peter Chevrolet, Buick, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Pike, Longview, Sloan Farm, and Sorry and Hoover LLP. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance, and go Lobos! Lufkin ISD is proud to present your award-winning Panther Pride drill team. Officers from left to right are Lieutenant Chloe Camp, Lieutenant Leslie Cook, Lieutenant Angelica Cleary, Lieutenant Addison Soderquist, and in the center are Captain Miss Delaney Coots. Senior Sergeants are Madison Johnson, Allie Lee, Princess Perez, Ashley Silva, and Riley Stevens. Stars of the week are Alana Carrizales and Augustina Mazzano. And provides under the direction of Miss Shauna Conrad, Assistant Directors Miss Karen Cook, and JV Drill Directors Miss Debbie Hemphill. Tonight, the award-winning Panther Pride will dazzle you with their high kick routine to Disco Inferno. may we present the Lufkin High School Majorettes. This evening, the Majorettes will perform a quarterly routine to a Tom Wallace arrangement of the Journey mega hit, Any Way You Want It. Sponsors Miss Kendall Gay. Head Majorette is Miss McKenna Hankins. Majorettes of the week are Lucy Lantis and Lila Knapp. And now, under the field direction of senior drum majors, Miss Alyssa Kitchens and Mr. Preston Jelinek, the Panther Band will perform a precision military marching routine to Legacy Fanfare, St. Julian March, and Symphonians. Please make welcome to the field your Lufkin High School Panther Band. Knapp and Josiah Havard. Directors of the Panther Band are Mr. George Little, Mr. Brandon Beavers, and Ms. Aubrianne Clark. Thank you for your courteous attention during tonight's halftime performance, and go Panthers!
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Talk to State Farm agent Charlene Ingram today.
And now at OR, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at OR Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Well, how about that? Amazing football game first half so far for the Lobos. A couple of amazing bands getting a chance to get out and perform. It's a pretty nice Friday night in East Texas.
Well, my friend, it didn't just stop with the band. You had drill team, you had majorettes, you had outstanding bands. As a native son and longtime resident of East Texas, that's the way halftime should be right there. I like your props and all you use in competition, but give me just marching bands, drill teams, and majorettes, and I'm a happy camper on a Friday night.
Well, if you're a Lobo fan, you're a happy camper, not only because of the halftime performance, but the first half performance. The Lobos all over the Panthers of Lufkin right now. 35-7 the score. Taylor Tatum, 13 carries, 94 yards. Elijah Johnson had 6 carries for 34. Taylor's got 2 touchdowns. Elijah's got 1. Jordan Allen, 8 of 9 for 138 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Hale, 4 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. We always say at the top of the broadcast, how did the Stars do in the game before? Well, the game before they only played a half. The game before they only played about a half. Tonight they've played a half. All 3 guys headlining again. Tatum, Hale, Allen, all on top of their game again.
Well, the Lobo offense looks like a successful portfolio. Lots of diversification, spreading the wealth, finding sources of success in all directions. They found it in the run. They found it in the pass. Jared Allen's 1 carry was outstanding.
Yeah.
Just so much to be proud of. And then the defense, after giving up an impressive drive to Lufkin in their 3rd possession, shut them out the rest of the half.
Well, on the other side for Lufkin, not a whole lot to brag on. Kedron Young, 10 carries, 24 yards. Throwing the football, TJ Hammonds, 9 of 16, 76 yards. He has a touchdown, but he also threw the pick 6. Darian Boone took back for the score. They just don't have a whole lot to show offensively, but that's kind of been the MO when you take on this Longview team. We talk about those star guys on offense, but this defense just feels like it keeps getting better and better and better. They bend a little bit. They give up a few yards. They're really playing, loose with the corners on an island by themselves. See what guys like Curry and Simmons can do. But at the end of the day, even without the big size, you got Amarian Watkins, who's just a dominant force inside. You've got the linebacking core, and we saw a lot from Boone and Brooks today, who are playing well. Starting to get a sense that some of these guys aren't even getting starts right now because there's so much depth on this team. Guys like Zarius Shepard are starting to make their presence felt. You had a near interception from Willie today. Willie Nelson had one that was taken away because of a penalty. It's like the defense just seems to be clicking on all cylinders. And when the offense is this good, 3 possessions, 3 long touchdown drives, they're about unbeatable.
And you talk about the 76 yards for Hammond. The vast majority of that yardage came on plays that basically they're allowing the corners to play soft. They want them to catch the ball in front of them, make good tackles, don't let them make big plays. That was a successful strategy for the Longview defense in the first half.
All right, tell you what, back deep, Kelvin Washington. He has had a kind of a game, I don't want to say changing, but momentum changing when Lufkin was getting back in this, it felt. His kick return set up a short field and a touchdown. And they're going to boom one back deep inside the 10-yard line. There's Kelvin. 30, 35, 40. Look out. 50, 40. One guy to beat, and he'll pull him down at about the 27-yard line. You're actually calling for a face mask.
Yeah,
I don't see a flag.
I thought he got him with the ear hole there or the side of the mask. Either way, just a beautiful setup return by Washington. One of those that bounces, kind of throws the coverage team off. Then he was so smooth in the fact that he didn't accelerate too soon. He hit that gear just at the appropriate time, took off through a hole that had been opened up by the return team. And once again, Lobos in business in really good field position.
All the way down to the 27-yard line of Lufkin. And again, we talk about the impact of the kick return game. There's Taylor Tatum, sweep to the left, 20, 15, 10, another cut, 5, forget about it, touchdown Taylor Tatum, his third of the game, and one play into this second half, the Lobos get another score to make it 41-7.
Tell you what, D.K. Reese, outstanding backside block that time. Tatum had come all the way across the field. Reese didn't quit on the far side of the field, blocking downfield. And when the time came that Tatum got into his part of the field, Reese was still engaged with his defender, delivered the final block that got him in the end zone.
14 carries, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns on the first half, plus a play for Taylor Tatum. He's got 10 on the year. Point after try, Michael Fields is good. 42-7. We have played a total of 21 seconds. Kick return, set up a 27-yard touchdown, and just like that, Lufkin, if they had any momentum coming out of the locker room, like here we go, 3 and out, that's all gone.
Well, you wouldn't blame Taylor Tatum, if he did his best Steph Curry imitation and did the little sleeping sign, because I think he just finished off the Panthers for the night.
I'll tell you what, Kelvin Washington is, we've said before, kind of roadblocked as a sophomore from getting a lot of touches offensively. He's got Jonathan Lee in front of him on the depth chart. He's certainly got Taylor Tatum at the top, but he's making a huge impact on this special teams and kick return team. And if you're not going to let me on the field to touch the football behind the quarterback, let me do this and watch my offense start adding up.
Well, what I like about it is they've had Willie Nelson back there a lot this year. If you've got a young man like this that you can let Willie set on those plays, outstanding. Willie's going to be a great returner if needed, but Washington is certainly adequate in filling that role.
So he's had a 49 and a 63-yard kick return, and the Lobos will kick off. Here's Michael Fields. He's going deep with it. Murphy is back at the 4. They come up the far sideline, 20, 25, and he's off to the races. Fields the last guy there, and he will help to put him out of bounds at around the 50-yard line. Good return on the other side that time by Lufkin's Braden Murphy.
Murphy got all the way across midfield. Fields makes a play. Vargas in the first half had to make a tackle on Washington. Fields that time had to make the tackle. Both of them used the sideline as a helper. But either way, great possession, field possession for the Lufkin Panthers here. Unfortunately, they trail 42-7 here to begin the second half.
See, we're going to mark him out of bounds. They're going to go back behind the 50, so it would have been a 44-yard kick return for Murphy. Wasn't quite as impressive as Kelvin Washington's, but not bad.
Forget all that I said about being across midfield.
All right, first down and 10, 48-yard line. Let's get the offense going here for Lufkin. We'll set him up here in a second. First down handoff, and again it's Omarion Watkins, who again is in the backfield. Kendron Young just touched the ball, and he's thrown down for a 2-yard loss as the big man continues to dominate the offensive line for Lufkin.
All I can say is beast mode. He is that tonight. He is throwing bodies around. This is not a small Lufkin offensive line that he's having his way with. They've got some size up front there. He's just beating them to the punch right now.
There's not a player on Longview's defense that weighs more than 215 pounds except Omarion Watkins, and he is exerting himself. They'll double team him this time. Pass on second and long. Willie Nelson coming over there will knock it away at the last second. As getting a hand on that football. Number 21 is Braden Walker, and it's bring up third down and 12.
And playing center field this evening is Willie Nelson. He came over. He was thinking interception as he came across the field. He realized at the last minute, almost identical to the ball he intercepted in the first half that was called back for the touchdown. He wasn't going to have enough room to make the play, just reached up there, batted it away at the last minute.
All right, 3rd down and 12. TJ Hammonds at quarterback. Fakes a couple of handoffs. He'll set up a screen too high, incomplete, as Caden Brooks put a lick on the back out of the backfield, Javori Garrett, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, we talked about it in the first half. We've seen previous teams this year, that's the kind of go-to when you get behind the sticks against this defense. You've either got a screen, draw, quarterback draw. You can't really try to take time to go downfield.
Willie Nelson coming on for the punt return. He'll be back at his 20-yard line. Eddie Vargas is back at his 30.
Willie's wearing the tiger tail there.
Here's the kick. This one's a lazy wobbler. It'll take a good bounce for him to pick up at the 8-yard line. Avoids one man up the field. Here we go. 20, 25, got a seam. 40, 45. He's got to beat 2 guys to see if he can get a block. Makes a cut and will go inside the 30 to the 27 where they started the last drive after the kick return from Kelvin Washington. They'll start it again, same spot on the punt return by Willie Nelson.
As I mentioned, Willie's going to be fine returning the ball. He had a little mishap in week 1 against McKinney Boyd where he mishandled a punt. He's so calm, so smooth back there. That one took a big old bounce, what we call a candy hop in baseball. He simply scooped it up, made the first 2 defenders miss, took off, and reminded everybody, if this kid was a running back, he'd be 100 yards a night.
And last year he was a backup back. 1st down, 27-yard line. Elijah Johnson in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff to the 22, and he's taken down. Good open field tackle that time on Lufkin's part. I couldn't get a number far side of the field. But either way, it's a gain of a few, and it'll be 2nd down and about 6.
At 42-7, 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd. It'll be interesting to see how much more Tatum we see. Elijah's going to take a step off the field right now. The first thing we began to see a week ago when the blowout was on, John Kingstaff began to work different skill position people in. Right now, Jalen Hale's still out there, so he's certainly someone you want to keep an eye on.
9:37 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 42-7, 2nd down. Allen keeping this, thrown out of the backfield. That is caught by Tatum, who carries a defender across the 15 down to the 14-yard line, and a 1st down for Longview.
See what Hale delivered a massive blow downfield to wideout, who you don't expect. Trying to see if we got a flag on the play or what. The official, the head linesman, called a timeout. Let's see what the call is here. Whitehat's going to give us a little signal. That's personal foul. That may have been on Hale. He delivered a real blow downfield. Could have used the forearm on it.
Well, let's see how they're going to mark this thing, because he had a 1st down at the 14. Is this an end of the play call, or is this going to be a during the run? They're going back to the 14 to mark it back from there.
If that's the case, it should have been a 1st down, and we should get a resetting of the chains here.
So they'll mark the 15 off from there back to the 29-yard line. And let's see if they are going to reset change. They're still sitting at the 27-yard line.
It appears it was a live ball foul.
Yep. So from the spot, it goes backward to the 29-yard line. So we've got, well, now they're now going to mark it as on the scoreboard. And well, they had it 1st down. Now they're going to mark it off. They'll put 2nd down and 13. So a little delay. We don't have the electronic down markers on the far side like we did at Tyler last week.
Spoiled us, to be honest.
You're right about that. We're going to get timeout, looks like, before we get going. John King wants to take a timeout. Comes with 9:02 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 42-7 Lobos here on game day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
House party? We got you covered. Office meeting? Come on, treat them right. Game day? You know we're here for it. Get your taco, nacho, or fajita bar today, only at Juicy's Taco.
All right, welcome back. 9:02 left to play, third quarter. All Lobos, 42-7. Now, we want to keep an eye on some scores. I'm going to do this real fast because it is district opening weekend. Lancaster, who we'll see next week back at Lobo, beating McKinney North 47-7. So big blowout there. Forney all over West Mesquite 43-14. Pass a little bit low and incomplete. And it's going to bring up third down and 12 for the Lobos now.
Mishandled that time by Johnson. Not a very good pass. It was certainly there. He was wide open. May have thought about turning and going to the end zone a little quicker than he had the ball, but it was just going to be a tough catch. Not one of the better throws for Allen tonight.
And Tyler High, by the way, tied with North Mesquite. So we got those scores to look forward to as we get toward the end of this. We'll keep you updated. Third down and 12 coming up now. Allen back to pass, toss high, intended for Hale. He overthrew it by a pretty good distance. And that's two not good passes for Jordan Allen on this drive, and maybe the worst we've seen from him this year, as he just missed receiver short, receiver long, and it brings up fourth down.
He'd like to have both of those back. Hale was in the soft spot of the zone. If you watched football last night, we saw Mike Williams of the Chargers in that soft spot of the zone most of the night last night. That's where Hale was when the ball just simply sailed over his head and the head of the defenders. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
All right, on fourth, kind of in no man's land at the 29. Allen back to pass. He's got a 4th and 12. He's going to pull it down and run it. He's not going to get there. First time tonight, the Lobos will not score on an offensive possession. Short field, and it all went awry on the penalty after the catch by Taylor Tatum. It would have been first down at the 14. Lobos get stopped for the first time tonight, turn it over with 8:45 left to play in the third.
Unfortunate. He had two receivers back around the end zone, one defender back there trying to cover two receivers. If he could have just kept his feet set for a moment longer, probably could have found one of them. Not the best series Allen's had tonight, but he's looked awful good up until that series.
All right, so Lobos will turn the ball over on downs. It'll be first down for Lufkin now at the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. I'll say 23. 8:45 left to play here in the third. On first down, handoff to Young. He's trying to outrun the defenders and just would not give up on that as Buda Garrett. He may have gotten a hand up in the face mask as he and Young were fighting trying to get to that sideline. And sure enough, looks like Buda's going to get called for the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, no doubt about the hands in the face mask. But right now, if you're Lufkin, you're trying to get some positive yards. You're trying to get some points on the board. You're not going to win this one. I don't know if you're even going to be able to close this thing enough to where you start worrying about tiebreakers and things like that and points differential.
Well, yeah, if you're Lufkin, you're right. That's a potential consideration, certainly, is worrying about can you get this thing under, and I think this district uses 18 maybe as their tiebreaker total. So you're a long way from that. First down will be up at the 42-yard line. And Hammond back to the ground, handoff again to Young. Got a little seam up the middle, and he'll cross the 50 to the 45 and down at about the 42-yard line. Nice little run that time. Good for about 15.
Flashes, that's what we've gotten from Young tonight. Every so often you see the flashes of that 200-plus yard game a week ago against A&M Consolidated.
All right, so first down at the 42-yard line. Lufkin trying to get something going here, as down as they are by 35. Handoff again, Young sweeping to the left. This time they hemmed in the Lobos. One man back there. That's Simmons who will knock him out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Willie got caught inside and got screened off from that play. That's really safety's responsibility. He didn't contain the outside. It'll be first and goal for the Panthers at the 6-yard line.
I agree with you, but Braden Walker got 2 good blocks on that play. He got the initial block, and then he got the seal block that really sprung the runner. As I said, every so often, Young is showing us flashes of a kid that's capable of a 200-yard night.
So down to the 6-yard line, and again, he had 262 last week against A&M Consolidated. Lobos did an outstanding job containing him. Now it's just a matter of can you maintain focus through the end. Boy, oh boy, again, they broke through blockers early again. And getting in there so quickly this time defensively was backup defensive end LaQuavion Jackson. He got there first. And we've got some new bodies into the ball game for the Lobos. 78 is Ethan Pulte. He has been hurt so far through every one of the first 3 games. He hasn't gotten a minute to play. Now he shows up, and he's getting some time in that inside where he'll spell Omarion Watkins. Loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and goal. And they'll go to Garrett on the ground, and he makes himself little. Got to the 5-yard line, grabbed up by Brendan Reese, a sophomore linebacker that's in there. And it'll be 3rd down and goal.
You said he got small, he got little, he got down is what he did. He kept the low center of gravity, kept his head down, picked up decent yardage inside that 10. Those are tough yards to get. Right now, the Panthers may have to show pass to keep this defense honest.
Yeah, we're down to 6:57 here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and goal from the 5 now. And they have taken Young out of this game. Backup tailback is in there on 3rd down. We got a flag down, and I think there was motion. It is by Lufkin. They'll move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, that's going to make the task a little more difficult. They drew a couple of Lobo defenders across the line of scrimmage.
And the backup tailback, that's number 19, Bakari Murphy. We actually talked about his name a day or 2 ago. Make sure we didn't screw that up because it's not one you see a lot.
I'm pretty used to saying Bacardi, so that shouldn't be a problem for me.
All right, 3rd down and goal back at the 10-yard line.
Lufkin getting some last-minute instructions from the sideline. Coach Quick and his staff still funneling in the information.
TJ Hammond's at quarterback. Garrett out of the backfield. He'll look that way, toss it out that way. Caught at the 12, gets under a couple of defenders, carries them all the way to the half-yard line. It's going to be 4th down. Ball came out, but it was after forward progress was stopped for Garrett. Boy, did a nice job. 4 defenders over there, and he really ran through them to get himself down a half-yard away from the end zone.
Well, and the reason he's out there with 4 defenders is because it's a wide-open play to start. They get him out there. Defenders close in on him, but excellent effort that time by Garrett to keep his legs moving and almost getting the thing to the end zone.
Obviously no choice here. 4th down and goal. Hammond's up under center. They're going to come after him. Hand off to Young. Makes a cut. Can't get in. They can't get in as the Lobo defense stiffens up at the 1 goal line stand, and they'll take the ball over after keeping the Panthers out of the end zone yet again.
A little bit of booing around us. I invite anyone up here booing to get down there and try to score against this Longview defense. They just are tough. And that time, the 5-yard penalty really took away their chance to get those points.
Well, Longview will get it back 99 3/4 yards away from the end zone. It was a nice drive for the Panthers. Give them their credit here in this 3rd quarter. Maybe one of their best drives of the night. 7 plays, 76 yards, but it comes up a foot shy of an end zone trip. And so with 5:35 left to play in the 3rd, Lobos will take over. Taylor Tatum way back in the end zone, about 8 yards back. They'll hand it to him. He gets a little bit of room out to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Second time tonight, the Lobos have been pinned deep in their own territory. Tatum had a big run in the first half to get him out away from there. That time, a little better job by Lufkin maintaining him, but don't be surprised if they come back with that tight formation again and try to just kind of go rule blocking straight ahead and move that line.
And if you watch the camera angle there, Taylor came off the field hobbled there. Looked like an ankle potentially giving him some problems, so he comes out. 2nd down and 7. Handoff right up the middle again, near the 10-yard line, plowing forward for about 5, almost 6. That's Kelvin Washington. We've seen him kick returning extraordinaire so far. He runs that time for 6. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, you mentioned he's a very good back, but when you're playing behind one of the premier backs in the state and Taylor Tatum, you just don't get a lot of touches. But as we saw in the second half last week, he's got some explosion in those legs.
All right, Johnson the fullback in front of Washington, 3rd and a yard. Hand off to Kelvin, he got it. Boy, again, got little, squirted through a couple of Panthers who couldn't hang on to him. Number 10's Charlie Deaton. He's the first one there. I haven't said his name tonight, but Charlie Deaton's an interesting cat. He was a catcher on the 2017 Little League World Series team that Lufkin had that made its way to the finals, lost to Japan that year, 12-2.
I remember watching him on TV.
First down at the 14-yard line. Back to the ground, Elijah Johnson in there. And that's across the 20 to the 23 for a gain of 8.
Well, after being pinned deep, the Lobos have gotten them some breathing room here as they'll come up with a 2nd and short. Typically, this is a time you think about maybe looking deep. You can still pick up that 1st down on 3rd. Let's see what the Lobos have in mind.
3:45 left to play in the 3rd. How about a pass play? A little high. Hale goes up and gets it, makes the catch, and gets to the 35-yard line where he is gang tackled. Well, I thought I saw a flag come flying in there. Something came flying in. It may have been just a mouth protector that came out as Hale makes the catch up to the 35-yard line for a gain of 12 and another 1st down for the Lobos.
Roughed Hale up after he made the play. Good pitch and catch that time. We talked about Jared Allen had the poor series earlier on a short field. Come back out here, looks a little better, but it looks like they're going to bring this one back.
Jordan Allen's pass is going to be wiped out as there's going to be holding on Longview. So wipe out the 1st down at the 35, mark them back. Let's see where they put this flag. Picked it up at around the 24-yard line. And it's a 15-yard variety. Chop block is what we're being told. Back to the 10-yard line.
And if you look at the Lobos each of the first 4 games, and you say, well, where do you see a weakness? This is it. Penalties at times derail drives, and if you're John King, certainly you appreciate the effort, but at the same time you want to clean some of this stuff up for the playoffs.
They've had a lot of penalties tonight. No question about it. Back to the ground they go. This is Elijah Johnson to the 18-yard line. 3rd down coming up.
Johnson started the thing up the middle, pops it outside. Nice drive. We talk about you want to set yourself up for an opportunity to pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That's exactly what that play did. Wasn't a home run type play, just simply, hey, let's get ourselves in position to try to pick up the 1st down, keep this clock running with 2:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
All right, they'll get it out to the 17, almost 18-yard line. 3rd down and 6 now for Longview. Allen back to pass. Looking middle, in trouble, gets away from 1. Nope, does not. Started to for a second, like he was going to bounce away from the linebacker, Caden Hooper, but couldn't get free of him. And that's going to be a sack back inside the 10, and the Lobos going to have to punt.
Unfortunately, after Tatum had kind of got him away from the shadow of the goal, Tatum walks off the field. Washington comes in. Penalty, sack. Now the Lobos get their, 1 punt a game?
Yeah. It's about what they've been doing. I think Michael had 2 last week. Second half, they were not running up the score. We're running the ball a lot and ended up punting a couple times. His punt from inside the end zone spirals out of there but doesn't turn over. We'll take a Longview bounce from the 35, and we'll stay on this side of the field and roll dead at the 44-yard line. So we'll stay here. 1:41 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 42-7 Longview. It has been all Lobos tonight. 14 in the 1st, 21 in the 2nd, and another 7 here in the 3rd.
Panthers with the short field as they'll try to come back, and had an opportunity down inside the 5. Longview had a great goal line stand on their last defensive series, Lufkin's possession. Now Lufkin will try to take advantage of this short field to get some additional points at 1:40 to go in the 3rd, trailing 42-7.
All right, 1st down at the 44-yard line. TJ Hammond still in that quarterback. They got a pretty capable backup. He may get some time later on, but not right now. 1st down toss. This is out into the flat. A nice attempt at a move, and now he slips out of a tackle, and you can see why, indeed, number 16, Braden Murphy, so dangerous. as he kept a play alive that probably should have been a loss, and he picks up about 5, and it brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, he's been returning kicks all night. Hadn't had a lot of luck. Had one nice return, but all that said, he looked like a guy that you want to try to get in space on that play.
All right, so 2nd down and 5.
Got a lot of second-teamers, I think, out here on defense right now. We'll try to pick up some of those.
There's the handoff. Nope, fakes the handoff. Hammond still got the football. Throws it last second. That's caught out in the flat again. 21 is Braden Walker. He'll have a first down at the 31-yard line.
Once again, we see some substitutes coming onto the field. It's Billy Smith checks back in. You talked about Pote being back tonight. I thought Pote got in a couple of snaps last week.
I may have missed him then if he did.
I thought he did, but either way, good to see him back on the field either way.
All right, so first down for Lufkin. They haven't had many of those, but this has been a better third quarter for them. Last minute of the quarter coming up now as we're down to 1:05. Handoff again. Young got a little space at left tackle, and he's dropped in the secondary. Getting him down around the ankles, Javion Robertson with the tackle. And it's very close to a first down again for the Panthers.
Good job that time. Robertson comes up, makes that play. Has to make that play. Otherwise, we're going to see Smith dancing into the end zone.
All right, so a 2nd down and short. They gained 9 on that one. This is Hammond's keeping and not going to get away from Billy Smith, who wraps him up back at the 23 for a 2-yard loss, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, every spread team has a version of that play where you fake the ball to the back beside you that goes into the hole, and you follow him in there. Hopefully the back either gets a block for you or draws a defender to tackle him and leaves the quarterback the opportunity to pick up the first. That time it just didn't work.
All right, well, ball up at the 22-yard line. 3rd down, handoff Young, bounces off one defender, slips down at the 30. He's going to be down there for a loss of 7. 4th down, 9 coming up.
Well, in pregame, you talked about this turf not being that great. That time he just slipped down.
Third quarter's over. Lobos win the quarter 7-0. After 3, they're up 42-7. We'll take the timeout, come back for the 4th quarter here on Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
In Longview, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Charlene Ingram for your insurance and financial needs.
All right, welcome back. 4th down coming up again for Lufkin as they face a 4th down and 9 as we start quarter number 4. Reminder, next week we're back at Lobos Stadium in Longview. It will be the really the much anticipated matchup with Lancaster next week. They met in the playoffs last season. They're now in the same district. They've both been rolling toward this matchup next week, and it really feels like winner gets a stranglehold on 7-5A. Back to pass, Hammonds, 4th down and 9. Looking far side of the field. Nice late break move, first down outside the 20-yard line to about the 18.
You've been trying to rush Hammond out of the game. I think Hammond's played pretty well tonight. This tough defense, the team speed's phenomenal for Longview. That's a great throw right there. You throw to the spot. You don't throw to the receiver. You expect him to cut. You expect him to be there. That time the ball was waiting on him when he did.
They needed 9. They got 12. First down at the 18-yard line. 11:55 left to play in this district opening matchup between these two. 85th time they've met. Handoff to Young, and there's a flag coming in late on this one.
Yeah, that looks like maybe a hold. The Whitehead threw it from way behind. Looked like he saw something in the interior of the line. He threw the flag towards the line, so that leads you to believe that it's going to be on Lufkin. Indeed it is.
Aaron McMullen, the 250-pound senior right tackle was not happy. He may have been the guy they were flagging on that.
I'm sure at some point the sideline over on the far side has mentioned to these officials not a lot of flags on the home team Lufkin Panthers tonight. Quite a few on the visiting Lobos.
Yeah. Now this is going to be a march back 10 yards to the 28-yard line, where it's going to be first down and 20.
See if Lufkin's patient trying to get this yardage back.
Evans back to pass, looking right. He's got a little time as he flushes out of the pocket. Now decides to pump, throws into traffic, but a ball caught at the 17-yard line. And they'll get back to 10. They just gave up on the penalty. Orion Hart with the catch.
I mentioned earlier, I like the looks of this quarterback, Hammond. He obviously had the terrible throw that was the pick six in the first half, but there are times like that where he can really thread the needle with the football.
Hey, defensively, Thomas Roll in the game. He was there for the coverage. Part of the unbelievable junior secondary. 8 juniors in the secondary, all back next year. The starting 4 and the second unit, all 11th graders. Handoff to Garrett, and not much. He got the 16 maybe. It's going to bring up third down and about 8.
Yeah, junior class like that's when the old high school coaches wishes they had a red shirt.
Yeah.
They get red shirt about half of those, but that's not the way it works in high school. You got to play them as they come, and he's got an abundance of secondary personnel right now.
All right, third down 9 at the 17-yard line. Again, 4-down territory, you figure, for the Panthers, obviously, down 42-7. They'll empty Garrett out of the backfield. Look at him and throw middle of the field a little bit too high. Is the intended target Walker, excuse me, that's actually the second receiver over there. That's Creason Preston. And that's incomplete, and it brings up fourth down.
Both teams working some additional personnel in at this point. We're under 10:30 to go here in the final stanza of this one.
All right, well, the clock stopping with 10:26 left to play. Fourth down and 9. They can get that first down at about the 9-yard line. Hammond's got Young out of the game again. Man in motion. That's Murphy. Looking to him. They'll throw it that way. Speedster catches it at the 20. He's got to get inside the 10. He's not going to. Well, the Lobos closed in such a hurry over there. 28's Robertson. He's been involved in a couple of plays like that. 38, DeAndre Drish also over there as some of those second team guys got in on the tackle. And again, a fourth down stop for Longview.
Yeah, I want to use that new term, populated the area so quickly. They had a handful of defenders over there. Even when you're able to make 1 or 2 defenders miss, before you know it, you're corralled, you're down, and you turn possession over to the Lobos.
Now that holding penalty on first down put Lufkin in a place they were not going to be able to recover from. And so the Lobos go back out there on offense. Jordan Allen still at quarterback. 42-7 the score, 10-18. First down handoff up the middle. Look out, here we go, the 40, 45-50. This is a race. Elijah Johnson still going, 20, 15, and finally goes out of bounds. There's a lot of flags late, and that may be Elijah reaching back and doing an offensive
face mask. Unfortunately, is going to spoil an outstanding effort. Elijah had some traffic he had to negotiate early in that run, bounced off one defender, took it to the outside, long run, but unfortunately at the end, he's going to get called for the face mask.
Now, it looks like the face mask penalty is going to occur at around the 14-yard line, so he's still going to get the brunt of this yardage. He went all the way down to the 14. It started at 114, it ended at the other. It's a 72-yard run. And now they're going to mark off the face mask penalty, and they'll mark it back to the 29-yard line.
And the folks on the far side are booing. We had the perfect angle on that. It happened right in front of us. No doubt that he got up into the defender's face mask with a stiff arm.
But still, what a run. Elijah Johnson flips the field. Lobos first at the 29-yard line. Handoff to Taylor. Is that Tatum that's back in the game?
Looked like it.
Walked off with a bum ankle, looked like in the third quarter, but goes for a yard here, and it's second down and 9.
Good news to see him on that stretch play.
We got an offsides, it looks like, on Lufkin. And there's a Panther who's unhappy on the far side of the field. I think that's Charlie Deaton, the linebacker. He's not a happy guy right now.
Well, at 42-7, I suspect there's several Panthers unhappy. He's just expressing it.
All right, well, we're going to get the offside penalty. So it should be first down and 5 if they take that.
Once again, you can hear the sound of the Lufkin High Band. We mentioned early in this one, defending state 5 and 6A championship band. Typically, band not allowed to play during live action, but in blowouts, officials sometimes turn a deaf ear to it.
All right, on first down and 5 at the 24-yard line. Back to the ground. This time, Jonathan Lee, who got in for the first time tonight, goes down, probably a loss of 2. Second down and 7 coming up.
For a moment there, thought he might have grabbed a face mask. Instead, just wrestles him down. Washington will be back in on this third down play.
We've got 9 minutes and counting left in this one.
No hell on the field right now. Your receiving options are, let's see, I think 80 out there. That's Jertavian Wright. Number 7's out there as well. That's Hawkins.
Freddie Hawkins, who had a big second half last week against Legacy. Handoff to Washington. Look out. Here he goes. They're not going to catch Kelvin into the end zone. Touchdown Lobos from 26 yards away. We'll make it 48-7.
How nice is it? He's your backup running back. You can bring him in, fresh legs, late in the ball game. This one's already a blowout, but he just blew by the defenders. And now an opportunity to make it 49-7.
8:42 left to play in the game. The Lobos have cracked 48 again. They got 48 against Marshall, 69 against Legacy, 48. Fields' point after try is up and good. We'll make it 49-7 Lobos. 8:42 left to play in the ball game. We'll take the break. We'll come right back. Longview Game Day.
And now at OR, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at OR Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Crunch has everything you need to find your mode. Come check out Crunch Fitness with a free guest pass.
3 plays, 86 yards, 41 seconds. That's how you do that. Lobos up 49-7. Kelvin Washington, the 26-yard touchdown run. And we just are, at this stage, running out of superlatives.
Well, to begin with, Longview's had 2 opportunities, Lufkin's had 2 opportunities to score against Longview here in the second half. That Longview defense, even with some second teamers in there, taking a lot of pride in keeping the Panthers out of the end zone here in the second half.
The ground game is starting to put up stupid numbers right now for Longview. On the ground, the Lobos have run for 312. 2 100-yard rushers in this game, both Taylor Tatum and Elijah Johnson over 100. Here's a kick return. And trying to come all the way across the field. Not much happened. And Budikera, the first one there to hit the return man, is number 83 for Lufkin. We've seen him a couple times offensively. Kavondra Taylor on that return. And it'll be first down Lufkin at the 28-yard line with 8:33 left to play in the game.
Great job by Buda that time. The ball had come away from his lane. He makes the adjustment. He sees where the return man's heading. It was time to break the lane, go over and maintain containment. Did so, also made the tackle on the play.
Elijah Johnson, 10 carries, 127 yards. Taylor Tatum, 15 carries, 124 yards. Calvin Washington's had 36 on his 3 carries. First down handoff and across the 30-yard line. Couple more maybe for Bakari Murphy. It's actually Javori Garrett on the carry for about 4. Second down and 6 coming up.
Garrett, starter tonight in this 2-back set. He's had a few touches, but they've predominantly stuck with number 3, Young, and he showed that he is the key back in this offense.
That's 5 carries for Garrett for 14 yards. Kedron Young, who had 262 last week against A&M Consolidated, 18 carries, 78 yards tonight. Not a bad night.
No.
But your expectations go to 262. That's not realistic. Low snap. Hammonds picks it up. Ooh, boy, almost picked instead. Nice catch out far side. That's going to be a first down across the 45-yard line. Looked like that was Javion Robertson who went for the pick and just missed it.
Yeah, safety decided to break on the ball, which always is dicey. Fortunately for him, the corner was still able to maintain the play that time. 38 over there.
Trish.
Yeah, was able to make the play.
Creason Person with the reception. First down, 47-yard line now. 7:28 left to play. 49-7. Lobos with the lead. Handoff again. Garrett, maybe a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Panthers just running out the clock here. Back to their normal, mixing it up on passing and running. Early on, I think it was their 3rd drive of the game. They put together an impressive-looking drive for a moment. Looked like they may be able to hang around. They were down 14-0, made it 14-7, but from then on, it's all been Longview.
Tell you what, weapons on both sides of the ball. If you are Chris Valerie, the OC, or John Barry, the DC, you're almost embarrassed with the riches you've got. They've got such talent right now. Hammond back to pass. That one's, in and out of the hands. That probably should have been intercepted, as going up to defend that Thomas Roll, the backup corner, had a chance for his own interception, and he let it get away.
Yeah, he's got his hands on the helmet. He knows he won't get many of those opportunities. But when you're in there as a backup and you get an opportunity to play and you get a chance for an interception, that one's going to hurt.
Yeah, you're going to hear about that. All those juniors on the ride home are going to remind Thomas. Dude, the hands. 3rd down. Hammond back to pass. They're going again, this time in the flat. That's Bakari Murphy with the catch. Couple of yards on that roll coming up to help to wrap things up. Also in on the tackle is Jaden Howard, another junior out there. This is a team that's got a bunch of guys back again next year. They're going to lose some seniors, no question. Your quarterback and receiver are big too, obviously, in Allen and Hale, but you got on the defensive side a bunch of youth over here.
By the way, my son, a UT graduate, as a former Longhorn, he tells me that the wide receivers coach from Texas is here tonight in attendance.
Is he?
Yeah. I wonder why. Just likes good East Texas football.
4th down and 10. Of course, the Panthers going again. Garrett emptying out of the backfield. They look at him. Now they're going to throw one middle of the field. A little bit high, tipped around, and incomplete. Intended target was Creason Preston, and the Lobos will get it on downs after the incomplete pass.
Didn't trust his back to be able to catch the ball out in the flat and go pick up 10 yards on the first down. Decides to look downfield. Good coverage, overthrown pass, and once again the ball goes over on downs to the Lobos.
How about some big bodies checking into the game for Longview? Arian Harper, junior offensive lineman, 270-pounders checking in. He's wearing number 75. See if we can't pick up some other new guys
well, it's
in
Tut
there.
time. Tut's in there, quarterback.
And so is Jose Soto. He's the tailback next to him. On 1st down and 10, 48-yard line. Handoff to Soto up the middle, and he's going to go for 8. 2nd down at the 39-yard line.
Nice run for Soto. One would expect all Tut's going to have to do here is turn and hand the ball to one of those backs, whichever one's in there at the time.
All the way down to the 39-yard line. Tell you what, the top-ranked Lobos, if you're not a believer, watch a half. You don't even have to watch a full game. Watch a half. Freddie Hawkins in far side of the field. Tut handing off again. This is, I think, Lee going for the first down across the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Well,
and that'll be another first down.
If you're going to watch a half, I recommend it be the first half if you want to see the Lobos starters, because these days you're not going to see the starters a lot in the second half.
Jonathan Lee in there, number 35. Hawkins and Wright splitting out near side. Far side, that is Ethan Harrison in the game. Handoff again to Lee, right up the middle, lowers a shoulder across the 30 to the 29-yard line as he goes for 5 more. Blair Williams back in the game for the first time that we've seen tonight.
I believe that was actually Steverson who got that touch that time, 33. May have gotten that. Lee's just now checking back into the game. Steverson, who was one of the captains tonight, got his first touch of the night.
Frank was trying to tell me that. I couldn't hear him. Frank was keeping me straight, and I missed it. So a 5-yard gain for Steverson. Brandavian Stevenson, the 5'7" senior. There's a pass out in the flat. There is number 17, Ethan Harrison, with his first catch of the night. First down at the 19-yard line.
Nice to see Andrew Tutt get an opportunity to throw the ball. Down and out pass. He hit him right where he needed to put it, and chains move, and after they get them set, clock will start to move.
And I apologize. There are so many new guys checking in so fast, trying to get a mention for everybody. Fernando Longoria in there on the offensive line as well. I'm trying to catch them as they break and get to the line of scrimmage. We're seeing new guys all the time. Back to the ground, handoff Lee to the 11-yard line for a gain of 8.
They fake the handoff to Steverson. They give it to Lee up the middle. Lee gets 8 yards. They're going to call it 7 here on first down, make it 2nd and 3.
Clock rolling down to the 4-minute, 20-second mark. 2nd down and 3 coming up. See if I can catch anybody new that's checked into the game so I can at least give them a shout out. Let's see if there's anybody else I'm missing. I can't see far side of the line. That's my problem. Right side of the offensive line I can't pick up for you. All right, handoff right again to Lee. Oh, breaks off one, bounces off one, changes directions twice, and into the end zone he goes from 12 yards away. Let's make it 55-7 on Jonathan Lee's touchdown run.
And for the first district game against their old rival, the Lufkin Panthers, since 2003, Longview comes in here and hangs half 100 on them. 55-7 as they go for the extra point. Looks like we may, we got a new kicker in there.
Oh, yeah. John Monsivace in there. Monsivace. Kick on the way. That is up and good. We'll make it 56-7 with 3:55 left to play. 6-play, 48-yard drive for the score. We'll take the break. We'll come right back to game day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
There's John King on the sideline. He's just 3:55 from win 201. I tell you what, we're keeping an eye down there at Lancaster. We see you, Tigers. 67-7. They're beating McKinney North right now. We're going to see them next week. Tell you what, come on out. Lobos Stadium's going to be rocking next Friday night. 7:30 kickoff. As the Tigers and Lobos will tangle, and like I said, it's week 2 in district, but you can pretty much say de facto district championship riding next Friday night. All right, Monsivace on for the kick. This one directional and short. It'll hit and roll out of bounds at the 20-yard line, and Lufkin's going to take over with 3:55 left. Other scores in the district tonight: Forney 43, West Mesquite 14, and Tyler North Mesquite, that's down to the last 7.5 minutes. Lions 27, North Mesquite Stallions 23.
Tell you what, I was a little curious about Forney. I don't know a whole lot about Forney football. And seeing that score over West Mesquite's a pretty impressive score.
All right, first down at the 30-yard line. Well, it looks like we got a new running back in there for Lufkin. 37 is Kendrick Morris. He's a senior.
Hammond still taking the snap out of the gun.
All right, first down handoff. That's Bakari Murphy. Goes for 7, second down and 3 coming up.
Murphy's gotten several carries here late for the Panthers. If you're Lufkin, you kind of lick your wounds tonight and start thinking about second place in district. No shame in losing, but it's not what you wanted for the first time seeing these folks in district in a while.
I think you're thinking about third place in district.
Well, they haven't played Lancaster yet.
I'm going to say we're thinking about third place in district.
I think we'll see Lancaster a week from now and then come to that conclusion, but I haven't seen them yet this year.
Lobos jump offside. They'll give away a first down on that one unless they got drawn, and flags came from both sides of the field, which makes you think it's offsides.
We saw Lancaster a year ago. Similar speed on defense to what we see from Longview this year. They didn't seem to have it together at times last year. They seemed a little loose. They had some penalties, some turnovers, things like that made Longview's job easier.
From the 44-yard line, 3:08 left in the game. And they'll roll the clock. First down and 10 for the Panthers. Came in here with a 3-0 record. Handoff again to Bakari Murphy, and he's going to go for 5, second and 5 coming up. And a huge win over A&M Consolidated last week. And it may be, and I hate to be too optimistic 4 weeks into the season, but if A&M Consolidated was number 3 and they lost to Lufkin by a pretty good margin, 17 points, and Longview's number 1 and they're beating the same team by 49 on Lufkin's home field, what's the gap between these two teams, between even an A&M Consolidated and a Longview?
Well, we're going to have to wait for playoffs to start to see who's the real contenders.
Second down and 5. How about another handoff? This time it's up. Hammond keeping it himself, and he's going to take a shot he probably shouldn't have taken. He could have gotten down and maybe saved that big hit, but he'll go to the 38-yard line and get a first down.
Haven't seen much of that tonight, and probably if you're Lufkin, you don't want to see a whole lot more of that.
No.
Risking your quarterback here in week 1 in district in what is a blowout ball game with 2 minutes to go.
To the 38-yard line of Longview goes that rush. Second team Lobo defense not wanting to give up a late score. 2 minutes left to play. 56-7 the score. It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was 35-7 at halftime. And we're at 56-7 now. Another handoff to Murphy. Oh, boy. He avoided the first tackler and probably wishes he had not. That combination led by Caleb Henderson, a 180-pound defensive lineman. He's wearing number 64. He and Drish, not Drish, but 28 is Robertson, along with a roll, got there and made that an uncomfortable ending for Murphy.
See some signs of a successful football program. Look at a second team that comes in here and plays with such hunger.
Yeah, you want to preserve that. You don't want to be the ones giving up this touchdown late. 1:13 and counting. As we're coming to the end of this one. That's a handoff for about a 7-yard gain, maybe 8, but short of the first down. For Lufkin on the carry, that is Kendrick Morris, a senior running back, and it's going to bring up third down, and we're under a minute left.
Still getting some bodies in and out on the Longview side of the ball.
Ball's at the 30-yard line, and
this could be the last play of the game.
Yeah, very well. If they get a first down, we're going to stop the clock and roll that. And if it's a turnover, well, we got third down, so we could. Yeah, if they don't get a first down, this may be it. Big win tonight. 85th meeting between these two. First down for the Panthers. And there's a flag. This is coming back.
Yeah, they hooked the end there.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty on Kevondrick Taylor, the sophomore wide receiver, as he hooked the defender for the Lobos over there.
Adrian Davis, big number 88.
Yeah. Senior, he was getting ready to play some tight end. I was running routes in the pregame part of this, and he's getting a chance to play a little outside linebacker. So the clock stops with 22 seconds left. Again, we'll wrap this up very quickly tonight. We got a lot of guys who need to get their stuff out of the way here. They're going to probably shut this down in a hurry. Jordan Allen, 8 of 11, 138 yards and a touchdown tonight. Didn't have to throw very much. Elijah Johnson, 10 for 127 in a score. Taylor Tatum, 15 carries, 124 in a score. Kelvin Washington, 3 carries, 36 yards in a score. Jonathan Lee, 4 for 22 in a score. Jordan Allen had 3 carries for 27 yards. As the Lobos ran up some incredible numbers. We'll get that in a minute. Jalen Hale, 4 catches tonight for 97-plus yards, and that's going to be a stop on the long third down, and that'll be the final play of this game. Hale had 4 catches for 97 yards tonight. Total offense tonight for the Lobos, how about this number? 23 first downs, 350 rushing yards, 148 through the air. They go for 498 today and give up just 14 first downs for Lufkin, 127 on the ground, 142 in the air. A lot of that in garbage time in the second half. Lufkin picks up 269 yards of offense, outgained by almost 250 yards tonight as the Lobos, again, this is becoming repetitious, dominating fashion, destroy the Panthers here in Lufkin.
And I want to reiterate, impressive second unit play. Drake Mayfield's tackle there at the end of the game was indicative of the effort that those second-team guys brought tonight, and that's why it stayed 56-7. Lufkin never got on the scoreboard in the second half. Total domination by the Lobos tonight.
It's an unreal 4-game stretch. Again, the Lobos go to 4-0 now. They're at home next week against Lancaster. For Lufkin, they'll drop to 3-1 and have to rethink life just a little bit. They weren't quite as good as they thought 3-0. They weren't as bad as last year's 4-6, not as good as 3-0. They're somewhere in the middle of that with a chance to make the playoffs in this district.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at this. We don't know what Lufkin's got. I've seen a lot of football teams. This isn't a bad football team, but this Longview team may be special. They're just a very good football team. If they can stay healthy, stay the course, team play, just really impressive through the first month of the season.
All right, another score for Lancaster. They've got a 74-7 lead, so they're going to go into Longview, both with big numbers they put up offensively, and both looking for a matchup next Friday that should be a memorable experience. We invite you to show up at Lobo next week. If you can't be there, we will be. You can join us again here on Longview Game Day. For Frank Sides and the whole crew, we want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. We're back on the air again next Friday, 7 o'clock for pregame, 7:30 for kickoff as the Lobos take on the Tigers of Lancaster after tonight winning big 56-7 over old rival Lufkin. For Tony Kirk, I'm Chuck Zach. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend.